So that is a very difficult to get this type of speakers who are of the diversified thing. Because today the industry also equally involved or equally demanding certain skills from the students, and so their feedback is also being very necessary along with the other educator and other field people. Now this, first of all, somebody asked me that either this is only for engineers. No, this is not only for engineers, this is a totally all the branches cover over here, so you can ask the question relevant to that after once your panel discussion is get over, and you can ask according to your queries or anything in your mind. Okay, so I welcome all of you and also dignitary on dais, and pranam to my guru, Dr. M.R. Patel. He is here. So sir, welcome. So with this, today we are going to start our program. But before I hand over the dais to all of the speaker, I would like to say that behalf of Institute of Engineers, that is behalf of Institute of Engineers, I am Dr. Hireni Mankodi, Honorary Secretary. Welcome you all. This institute is basically for the engineers, and which is established in the 1920, which is a huge body, and the number of members over here, what I can say here, almost 15 engineering disciplines are over here. Corporate members are about 2 lakhs. Different level of memberships are there. So that is for the diploma, degree, and also be fellow for, and also we have a professional designations are there. So these all are there in the Institute of Engineers. Basically we are organizing the programs in the for a different field. We give the different talks in innovations and all regarding to separate field like the civil, electrical, in general what are the trends are going on and all that. Also side by side we are organizing such a events, where one of the event you can see which is organized today. Also we are organizing certain engineers have talent like that things, then the chess competitions and many other things. We are celebrating all the engineers day, environment day and all over there. So Institute of Engineers is a very big institute, and the many of them means I can say there is a overseas chapters are also with there, 7 forums are also be associated with that, and this way it is a hugely expanded body. The headquarter is at the Calcutta. So with this word, I will request Deepak Bhai to start the program.
Good afternoon, friends, and welcome to this career guidance program. We are slightly late, so we'll not get into the formality because you all are anxious to hear the experts and not others. And I cut short here, and I request Nachiket to give a brief about the programs, and then we'll go straight on the panel experts speech. You all will be given a sheet, and maybe you can write the questions if you have any, and we will see that those questions are answered by the experts. So with this I request Nachiket, who is the coordinator of this program. He is the one who has taken the initiative to have this program. So I want him to give an outline of the program. Thank you.
Very good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to recognize all the institutions who have collaborated with Roshni Technology Foundation. First of all, I would like to recognize the Indian Society for Training and Development, Computer Society of India, Baroda Productivity Council, Baroda Information and Technology Association, BITA, Vadodara Innovation Council, JCI Baroda Alkapuri. And I'm very delighted to welcome you all on such a very wonderful session which has been organized by these prestigious organizations and also the Roshni Technology Foundation as well. So this isn't just another event, it's a movement. This is what Yuva Manthan is all about. Inspiration that transforms, guidance that empowers, and the voices that ignites the clarity, which is guided by the wisdom. Let us also remember the timeless wisdom which was being shared by Sri Krishna to Arjuna. And in the moments of uncertainty, just like Arjuna has the doubt on the battlefield, the guidance of an experienced mentor can illuminate the path of the success. In the chapter 2, Karmanyevadika raste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phal heturhi karmani, which means that your right is to perform your duty, but not to the fruits of your action. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results, nor to be attached to any inaction. Just like Arjuna found the clarity with Krishna's guidance, today's event provides you the chance to discover the path with the wisdom of leaders who have walked the road before you. I would like to introduce you with our panel. We are very honored to host Mr. Jigar Inamdar sir, who is the chairman of the governing body of Ramanujan College, Senate and Syndicate member of Maharaja Sayajirao University, conveyor of Samanvay Pratishan, trustee of Veer Savarkar Smruti Kendra. Please give a big round of applause for Mr. Jigar Inamdar. We have Mr. Param Doshi, who has achieved an unbelievable All India rank 37 in his CA finals. He is also practicing chartered accountant and he is president of JCI Baroda Alkapuri. We have, please give a big round of applause to We also have Mr. Priyank Shah, who is the chief architect of Baroda Smart City as well as the co-founder of Meraki Design Studio and who is the director of NAU Foundation and YUJ CSR Private Limited. Please give a big round of applause to Also, we have Dr. Vijay Shah, who was the past vice president at ABB, and also he has registered 20 patents on his name. Please give a big round of applause to Vijay Shah. We have Mr. Gautam Chakravarti sir, who is the global head and plant engineering of Larsen & Toubro. Please give a big round of applause to Gautam sir as well. These leaders have not only built the brilliant careers, they have built the communities, empowered youth and sparked transformation at this scale. To every student and every parent, as well as the educator here, today is more than a Sunday. It's a launch pad, a mirror, a manthan, a deep churning of thought and possibility. So I request you to ask questions and to sit here with full of curiosity. Let these voices not just inform you, let them transform you. Once again, we welcome to Yuva Manthan 1.0. Let the journey of the purpose begin. Thank you.
Thank you, Nachiket bhai. So let's start with the panel discussion. First, I request Sri Jigar bhai Inamdar sir, who is an excellent orator, and he has guided a number of students. He has one institute where he basically helped a lot of people to make the career in government. So with this, I request Jigar bhai to say a few words. Thank you.
I have been given the arena topic related to government. So in 2016 we started Institute of Leadership and Governance. The basic motive to start Institute of Leadership and Governance was to prepare people to enter public life. ऐसा बोलते हैं कि जो कहीं नहीं चलेगा वो पब्लिक लाइफ में तो चल ही जाएगा. So ill-informed or less educated people जो कहीं नहीं चलेंगे वो राजनीति में चलेंगे, ऐसा सोच के लोग आते हैं और फिर जो सिचुएशन होती है वो होती है। सो 1 साल का हमने कोर्स डिज़ाइन किया, फ्रॉम पंचायत टू पार्लियामेंट, फ्रॉम थियरी टू प्रैक्टिकल, और 9th बैच उसकी शुरू होने जा रही है। दैट वाज आवर फर्स्ट एफर्ट। द सेकंड इज संवर्धनम। इन संवर्धनम वी प्रिपेयर यंगस्टर्स टू अपीयर फॉर जीपीएससी यूपीएससी। सो एक प्रोग्राम जब हमने किया और उस समय हमें पूछा गया कि व्हाट इज द एक्चुअल रीजन व्हाई देयर आर लेस गुजराती पीपल और पीपल फ्रॉम गुजरात इन सिविल सर्विसेज। सो माय आंसर वाज माइंडसेट। हमारा माइंडसेट, गुजरात के हमारे बच्चों का माइंडसेट, ये कहीं ना कहीं सिविल सर्विस के लिए बहुत कम होता है। या तो हम बिजनेस में जाना पसंद करेंगे या तो कोई और अच्छी सेफ नौकरी करना पसंद करेंगे, बट सिविल सर्विस में नहीं जाना है। इनिशियली देयर वाज अ टाइम जब तमिल पीपल यूज्ड टू रूल सिविल सर्विस। अभी सिचुएशन ये है कि जो नॉर्थ एंड पूर्वांचल वाला क्षेत्र है, उत्तर प्रदेश, बिहार, झारखंड, ये अभी सिविल सर्विस को रूल कर रहे हैं। सो बिफोर स्टार्टिंग संवर्धनम आई ट्रैवल्ड फॉर 3 years। 3 साल तक अलग अलग लोगों से मैंने सुनने का, समझने का प्रयास किया कि व्हाट इज द एक्चुअल रीजन, क्यों कुछ सेगमेंट के लोग बहुत ज़्यादा सिविल सर्विस में जाते हैं, क्यों कुछ सेगमेंट के लोग उस दिशा में सोचते ही नहीं है। सो 5वीं 6ठी कक्षा के जो बच्चे होते हैं ना उत्तर प्रदेश, बिहार में, उनके दिमाग में ये कंटिन्यूसली डाला जाता है कि आईएएस नहीं बन पाए तो आईपीएस नहीं तो आईएफएस, नहीं तो रेलवे सर्विस तो अपने लिए ही है, तो इकोनॉमिक सर्विस, रेलवे सर्विस, रेवेन्यू सर्विस। अब ये सर्विस का माइंडसेट जब तक हमारे दिमाग में घुसेगा नहीं, तब तक हम उस दिशा में सोचेंगे नहीं। सो ये 2 इनिशिएटिव, और दोनों इनिशिएटिव के संदर्भ में जो गवर्नमेंट का सेक्टर है उस रेफरेंस में क्या करना चाहिए उसको 1 मिनट में बोल के मैं मेरी बात को पूर्ण करूंगा, और उसके बाद अगर जब अलाउ किया जाएगा ओके तो ठीक है। एक्चुअली दीपक भाई की क्लियर उनकी इंस्ट्रक्शन ऐसी थी कि किसी को थैंक्स बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है, हमको भी बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप सीधा टॉपिक पे आना। और जीवन में पहली बार इस प्रकार का अनुभव मुझे हो रहा है कि जहाँ पे कोई फॉर्मेलिटी नहीं है। सो इस रेफरेंस में 2 चीजें जरूरी है। व्हाट वी आर डूइंग राइट नाउ, जब संवर्धनम शुरू हुआ तो संवर्धनम में हमने फ्री सबके लिए सब कुछ रखा कि सिविल सर्विस, जीपीएससी, यूपीएससी, उसकी एग्जाम के लिए 1 साल का पूरा कोचिंग कंप्लीटली फ्री, एयर कंडीशन क्लासरूम, स्मार्ट टीवी, सब कुछ वहाँ पे अवेलेबल है। और उसके बाद भी हमको स्टूडेंट्स कितने मिले? 8 बच्चों पे बैच हम नहीं कर सकते। हमने उनको बोला कहीं पे पैसे लेके जहाँ पे क्लास चलते हो वहाँ चले जाओ, आपकी फीस हम भर देंगे, क्योंकि आप 8 लोगों के लिए हम पूरी बैच अगर पूरे साल चलाएंगे वो हमको 30-35 लाख का खर्चा होता है। सो देयर इज अ कंपनी वर्डवीजा, दे डिसाइडेड टू फंड द होल प्रोग्राम, और हम बोलते तो वो दे देते, पर उनका 35 लाख 8 बच्चों के लिए खर्च करना ठीक नहीं था। सो वी आर स्ट्रगलिंग टू गेट द स्टूडेंट्स। मैं ये बात इसलिए बता रहा हूँ कि आपको 5 लाख रुपए नहीं भरने हैं, या दिल्ली में जाके पटेल नगर में आपको कोई रूम लेके नहीं रखना है। वहां के जो एक्सपर्ट्स हैं उनको हम बड़ौदा बुला रहे हैं, फ्री में पूरा एजुकेशन देने का 1 साल का बैच हम डिजाइन कर रहे हैं, और उसमें भी हमको बच्चे मिले हैं 8। करने की जरूरत क्या है? व्हाट वी आर इन द प्रोसेस। 1, ये जो पूरा सिलेबस है सिविल सर्विस का, ज्यादातर यूपीएससी, जीपीएससी में ज्यादा फर्क नहीं है एग्जाम्स में, कंटेंट मोर और लेस सिमिलर होता है। सो वी हैव हायर्ड फ्यू पीपल, वी हैव रिक्वेस्टेड देम टू डिवाइड द होल सिलेबस। बच्चा जैसे ही 7th पास करता है, 8वीं कक्षा से, यानी इस वर्ष जो 7th में बच्चे आएंगे उनको पूरे साल सिर्फ 7th के बच्चे और कोई नहीं, पूरे बड़ौदा की सभी स्कूल में हम जाने वाले हैं। 7th के बच्चों के लिए 20-20 मिनट के सेमिनार हम डिजाइन कर रहे हैं कि सिविल सर्विस क्या है। एट द एज ऑफ 12-13 बच्चों को समझ में आएगा कि सिविल सर्विस ये होता है। और यूजुअली हम कौन से करियर की तरफ ज्यादा जाने का प्रयास करते हैं? जो हमको आकर्षित करे। कोई व्यक्ति एमएलए बनता है, कोई व्यक्ति मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट बनता है, उससे ज्यादा, उससे कंसिस्टेंट पावर ये सिविल सर्वेंट के पास है। जो आईएएस है वो टिल 60 आईएएस रहेगा। जो आज एमपी है कल एमपी रहेगा कि नहीं पता नहीं है। जो आज एमएलए है दूसरी बार एमएलए बन पाएगा कि नहीं पता नहीं है। बट जो आईएएस है वो लाइफ टाइम आईएएस है। लाइफ टाइम आईएएस मीन्स टिल 60 एंड टिल 60 अगर उसको साइडलाइन प्रमोशन भी दिया गया तो वहां जाके भी वो अच्छा कर सकता है। आपके पास एक कंसिस्टेंट पावर है इफ यू विश टू डू समथिंग गुड फॉर द सोसाइटी। और इसीलिए 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 ये 5 साल जो है, ये 5 साल में रोज का 1 घंटा आपको उस विषय को पढ़ना है। हम सिलेबस को ऐसे पीसेस में डिवाइड करने जा रहे हैं कि जो 8वीं का बच्चा उसको ये सब्जेक्ट 8वीं में रोज 1 घंटा देके कैसे पढ़ सकता है या 9वीं में कैसे पढ़ सकता है। तो 8 से 12 रोज का 1 घंटा। कॉलेज के 4 साल, कई बार 3 होते थे 4 होते थे, अब नई एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में 4 साल हो गए। तो ये 4 साल रोज के 2 घंटे, तो 4 साल यानी 1400-1500 दिन, रोज के 2 घंटे यानी 3000 के आसपास घंटे हो गए। 5 साल यानी 1600-1700, तो कुल मिला के 5000 आवर्स का हम सिविल सर्विस का प्री प्रिपरेशन उसको हम डिवाइड कर देना चाहते हैं। रोज एक ही टॉपिक पढ़ो, ज्यादा कुछ पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है। 1 महीना ये सब्जेक्ट पढ़ लिया, दूसरा महीना दूसरा सब्जेक्ट पढ़ो और लास्ट में उसको रिवाइज करो। तो इस प्रकार से यानी 7th में बच्चों को हमने ओरिएंट किया। 8 से हमने बच्चों को 8वीं वाला पढ़ाना शुरू किया, फिर 9वीं, फिर 10वीं, 11वीं, 12वीं एंड लास्ट जब 12वीं आपका 12वीं का जब वैकेशन हो आफ्टर एग्जाम्स, उसमें आपको आगे के 4 साल का ओरिएंटेशन, और वो 4 साल का ओरिएंटेशन होने के बाद व्हेन यू विल बी एलिजिबल टू अपीयर फॉर सिविल सर्विस, पूरा सिलेबस आपका 2 बार रिवाइज हो गया होगा। और उसके बाद 1 साल का गैप। कोई मास्टर्स नहीं करना है, कोई नौकरी नहीं करनी है, फुल टाइम सिविल सर्विस के पीछे 1 साल लग जाना है। और पर्सनली आई बिलीव कि अगर आपने 5000 आवर्स पढ़ के आप 1 साल का गैप ले रहे हो, मैं नहीं मानता कि आपको दूसरे अटेम्प्ट की जरूरत होगी और आप उस सिचुएशन में पहुंचोगे जब आप पहले अटेम्प्ट में यूपीएससी क्लियर करके बाहर निकल जाओगे। आपके पास गवर्नमेंट के सेक्टर में काम करने का एक स्कोप रहेगा। सो आई ट्राई टू एक्सप्लेन 3 थिंग्स। 1, गवर्नमेंट क्या, क्यों एंड कैसे। एक ओवरव्यू अगर हम लेना चाहें, गुजरात में गवर्नमेंट में जॉब के लिए कितने प्रकार की परीक्षाएं होती हैं, कितनी बॉडीज हैं जो इसकी एग्जाम्स लेती है, हम में से किसी को उसका अंदाजा होगा? समझने का प्रयास कीजिए। गुजरात में, गुजरात स्टेट में स्टेट लेवल की जो गवर्नमेंट एग्जाम होती है उसकी एग्जाम्स कंडक्ट करने के लिए 8 बॉडीज हैं और ये 8 बॉडीज अलग अलग प्रकार के 300 सेक्शंस की एग्जाम कंडक्ट करती है। इतने सारे, हम बोलते हैं ना गवर्नमेंट में जॉब कम है। जॉब कम किसके लिए है? जिसको मेहनत नहीं करनी उसके लिए है। गवर्नमेंट में जॉब है और उस जॉब में पावर है। पावर किस लिए है? किसी की सेवा करनी है उसके लिए है। बाकी का पावर भी है, वो पावर में हमको पढ़ना नहीं चाहिए, बट जो पावर किसी का भला कर पाए उस पावर में अगर हमको जाना है तो वी हैव ऑप्शंस। जस्ट हमें अपना माइंडसेट तैयार करना है। और सरकारी नौकरी है, ट्रांसफर होगी यानी क्या? मंगल ग्रह पे तो भेजने वाले नहीं है। ट्रांसफर से जो डरता है उसको सरेंडर होना पड़ता है, और जो ट्रांसफर से नहीं डरता वो किसी भी सेक्शन में, किसी भी फील्ड में अच्छा काम कर सकता है। सो द पेरेंट्स हु आर हियर, आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप आपके जीवन में जो बन पाए, जो ना बन पाए, एक आपके अधूरे सपने आपके बच्चों पे मत थोपना। आपके बच्चे क्या बनना चाहते हैं? मेरा बेटा 12.5 साल का है, मैं अब तक समझ नहीं पाया हूं कि वो क्या बनना चाहता है, बट मैं पिछले 3 साल से उसके पास समझने का प्रयास करता हूं कि वो क्या बनना चाहता है। वो एक्सप्लेन करे, और वो अगर ऐसे डिसाइड करता है ना कि मुझे पेंटर बनना है, तो मैं फैकल्टी ऑफ फाइन आर्ट्स के डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पेंटिंग में उसको भेजना पसंद करूंगा। वो इंजीनियर नहीं बनेगा तो चलेगा, वो एमबीबीएस नहीं करेगा तो चलेगा। उसका एक एग्जाम है, मैं दीपक भाई, नचिकेत भाई को उसकी एक लिंक शेयर करूंगा। आई हैड अ मीटिंग विद अ पर्सन, मेरा दोस्त है महर्षि व्यास। महर्षि व्यास इज वर्किंग विद डिफरेंट IIMs फॉर प्लेसमेंट। उन्होंने एक ऐसा सॉफ्टवेयर तैयार किया है जिसकी एक रिगरस प्रोसेस है, उस प्रोसेस से गुजरने के बाद यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि आपका एक्चुअल एक्सपर्टाइज क्या है। हमारा एक्सपर्टाइज ज्यादातर हिडन होता है, हमको पता नहीं होता कि हम क्या कर सकते हैं। उस एग्जाम के माध्यम से आप समझने का प्रयास करो कि आप 1 2 3 4 5 ये 5 ऐसे क्षेत्र हैं जहां पे आप कुछ कर सकते हो। सो ट्राई टू आइडेंटिफाई योर इंटरेस्ट एंड योर इनबिल्ट इनर एक्सपर्टाइज। उसके आधार पे आपके करियर के ऑप्शंस, यूपीएससी अगर नंबर 1 है तो उसके बाद दूसरा ऑप्शन भी आपको चूज करना पड़ेगा। सो ट्राई टू लिमिट योर थॉट्स। बहुत सारी जगह पे बैटिंग नहीं करनी चाहिए। MS धोनी किसी भी दिशा में 6 मारे तो हमको भी हर दिशा में 6 मारना ऐसा नहीं करना है। हमें हमारी क्षमता के अनुसार, हमारी लिमिटेशंस के अनुसार हमारा जो स्कोप ऑफ करियर है उसको नैरो डाउन करना चाहिए। और बाकी हमारा माइंडसेट डेवलप हो, माइंडसेट के आधार पे पूरे विषय को टुकड़ों में बांट दिया जाए और टुकड़ों में समझते हुए स्टेप बाय स्टेप आगे बढ़ा जाए। ये करने से गवर्नमेंट वाला कोई भी एग्जाम आपके लिए सरल हो जाएगा, ऐसा मेरा मानना है। और बहुत लंबा समय हुआ नहीं है इस फील्ड में, 9 साल पहले इंस्टीट्यूट शुरू हुआ और 3 साल से ये यूपीएससी जीपीएससी वाला जो है सिविल सर्विस वाला, उसके पीछे मेहनत कर रहे थे। शुरू किए हुए 1 साल ही हुआ है, बट जो कुछ समझे हैं वो समझाने का आपको प्रयास किया है। बाकी की चीजें क्वेश्चन आंसर में जब अलाउ किया जाएगा तब। थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू वेरी मच। सब बच्चों के लिए बहुत सारी अच्छी जॉब वेट कर रही है। इट इज ओनली दैट यू टू प्लान योर सेल्फ फ्रॉम योर चाइल्डहुड। बच्चों को 8 स्टैंडर्ड से, सो इट वॉज अ गुड एडवाइस। नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट चक्रवर्ती सर, who is basically heading the L&T टेक्नोलॉजी सर्विसेज, वागुड़िया रोड पे देखते हो, उनका इंजीनियरिंग का हेड करते हैं। And he basically recruits, and his organization recruits n number of engineers. There are more than 6,500 engineers. 6,000.
The entire L&T Technology Services consists of 26,000 people.
But Baroda has got around 6 to 7.
One Baroda, yeah. Knowledge city about 6,000.
6,500, 7,000 engineers. And after L&T has come to Baroda, it has changed the face of Baroda. See, earlier people have less opportunity, and now Baroda is considered to be the engineering hub. So we request Sri Chakravarti sir to say what kind of career people should take. And one more thing, that there are a lot of colleges, admissions are easy. Students are taking the admission on the strength of the bank balance of their parents. It's not that on the strength of their hard work. So अच्छे मार्क लाके अच्छी कॉलेज में जाने के बजाय बच्चा बाप के पैसे पे प्राइवेट कॉलेज में बड़ी फी भर के पढ़ता है, एंड आफ्टर दैट he doesn't get the job. So there are two thought process कि मुझे एक कॉस्टली एजुकेशन लेके क्वालिफिकेशन लेना चाहिए या नहीं लेना चाहिए, या तो आई हैव टू डेवलप माई स्किल एंड गेट इनटू द सिस्टम. तो आई थिंक आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू हाईलाइट ऑन दैट ऑल्सो, and what kind of engineers you take, what you look into the people, and what kind of preparation students should get so that they can get into a company like LTT.
Sure. Okay, good evening. As I would have said, afternoon. Good evening to all of you. I have been in the industry for 33 years. I'm a chemical engineer. I graduated in '92 from, so now it's called as NIT, National Institute of Technology, Surat Kal, which is number 2 in the country in NITs. Even during our time it used to be known as REC, and even then it was number 2. Trichy and Surat Kal. If I talk of today, the exciting thing about today's technology horizon is that all of you are born, the children, you are born at a time, at very, very exciting times when the computer science field has matured, and artificial intelligence is in vogue. Okay, so that's the good thing. The bad thing is also that artificial intelligence is in vogue. Okay, it's in about 10 to 15 years time from now, आप लोग देखेंगे कि AI has taken away millions of jobs in the world. Now, what trend that we are seeing in the world today, especially in the industry, is that core sector in engineering, the chemical engineering, the mechanical engineering, civil structural engineering, electrical engineering, electronics engineering, these engineering, metallurgical engineering, mining engineering, these are extremely in demand. People wanted to be, there was a time, maybe about 10 years ago or 10 to 15 years ago, when if the son doesn't get into IT or the daughter does not get into the IT, the computer science engineering or information technology or some such allied field, the neighbors would look down upon you. Okay? And in South India, it was so much so that if the son-in-law is not from IT, they will not get the daughter married to him. It was that much, and that's true. But today, look at it, all those people who have got into coding, in 5 years from now, artificial intelligence is going to do all the coding. What's going to happen to the millions of the people who have been and who have stayed into coding? The good thing what has happened is, because people from the core branches have moved into IT, those sectors have got a severe vacuum. Okay? And added to the fact that the country has got a prime minister like Narendra Bhai Modi, who has catapulted this country into such an accelerated growth. You are having so many organizations, so much of opportunities coming up. The demand for the core sector has gone up tremendously. Even civil structural engineers today, in the last 4 years, not even 5, 4 years, I'm literally paying them double the salary than what they would have been paid earlier. Tremendous opportunity. I search for 10 engineers in chemical field, process engineers. After 6 months of search, I get one of them worth employing. Mind my word, worth employing. So what's very important is, whatever field you see, it's going to be extremely difficult for any of us to predict in 15 to 20 years horizon what's going to be there, what's not going to be there. The world is changing tremendously. You need to keep reading, you need to keep deciphering what's happening, you need to keep talking to people more often than like now, and keep getting guided as to what should be your next step. And added to that, you have the political scenarios. Nobody knew that, the tariff war would come. So it's very, very important that all of you realize that you are born at a time when there is an excitement as well as there is a danger. And there's no point, I'm not trying to scare you people, but you people should really keep your ears and eyes open. Don't get carried away by what is written in media, which is not to be, not because not everything in the media is right. but at the same time, collaborate with people who do have authentic information, read the trends, and try to make a right judgment. That's most important. Okay? Now, coming to your, how many of you are engineering aspirants here? Not too many. So, in fact, you know what? I see that there are lots of other fields which will open up because of IT, and you will have to carefully choose those, because at the end of the day, the survival of the fittest is not the person who is the most intelligent. I mean, intelligent, yes, but intelligent is that person who will try to put himself into the groove with the flow. Where there is a need, that's where he will have to fit himself. Not that, okay, I am a topper, so I should go into engineering or medical or something like that. But for all you know, you'll not get a job. So there will be a lot of other avenues opening up. So you will have to accordingly play your game. Okay? This is very important, and I thought I should share with all of you, because it's really coming and hitting us hard, and we all should wake up to this fact. Everything, even a simple document which we have to write, you want to create a story of 3 people, just ask ChatGPT, he will create a story and give it to you in 30 seconds. So technology is great, but technology can also be a threat. So please wake up to that fact. Thank you.
Thank you, Chakravarti sir. So IT is not the field which you should look for. The basic core engineering subjects.
Absolutely.
So the person who make a career, who study IT, will not be able to study civil, mechanical, electrical, architectural engineering anywhere. You will not find any classes who will tell that we will create a civil engineer. But I know so many civil, mechanical, electrical, architectural.
Converse is true, yes.
Who has become expert, and I'll tell you, majority of the company where if you see the IT head, they are not basically from IT domain. They are either a civil engineer or mechanical engineer or electrical engineer.
Absolutely.
So, look at those basic branch. That branch will never have a recession. IT has a lot of risk, and with the IT boom, most of the colleges has increased their seat on the IT. And if you see that, almost 50 to 100 times people are more in the market every year, and they are not getting even the project. Forget about the job. The final year project, they pay money. So they are not getting. So unless you are very good in mathematics, unless you are very hardworking, and you are ready to work hard for the rest of the life, don't get into the computer or IT.
And I think so, in near future, IT become like a MBA. Everyone can do MBA, either it's a commerce or either it's a science, whatever. Like IT is a part of your subject now. So core subject may be different, but it have an application. So everywhere IT is there. Why you are going towards the engineering of IT or doing BCA and all that? Everywhere your application is there. So it is become a part of it nowadays.
In fact, if you look at the syllabus of 8, 9, 10, 11, 10, 12, the kind of topics which has been covered in the computer subject, people doesn't require to be BEIT if you study that subjects well. But unfortunately, all these schools, they give MCQ and some PPT to pass that exam. Many schools, they don't teach the subject. So if you learn those 8 to 12 computer subject well in your school, without being BE computer, You can learn most of the subjects, and that is the whole idea of this syllabus. That whether you become a lawyer or chartered accountant or engineer, whatever, you are IT literate. So government want IT literate. So ask your kids, rather than spending and see, you focus on the core subject, but learn those IT related topics in those 8, 9 and 10. That will really help to make your career. So thank you, sir. If you want to add anything?
No, I mean, this is what I had to say. Nothing more than that.
So we heard that there are a lot of opportunity in government. There is an opportunity available in engineering. So now let's see what are the opportunities available. The people who are not good at maths, people who doesn't like maths, but they are good at drawing, they are good at painting, who is art. And we have an excellent architect who has studied abroad. He is basically the one who has coined the word smart city. He is basically initially those experts who were involved with smart city, and he left everything abroad and he decided to serve this country, and he came back to India. So thank you, Kian Bhai. So let's hear from him that what are the creative career pathway. If you are creative, what are the careers options available to you? Unfortunately, I was planning to keep it here, but anyways, you can come on the dais if you want.
Yeah, I'll be better on the dais.
Yeah. कितना भी AI आ जाए, it cannot take the place of creativity. Creativity की वो जगह नहीं ले सकता है. So this is the place where there is no threat. देखो जो जहाँ भी मैथमेटिक्स है, कुछ कैलकुलेशंस है, सेट रूल्स है, those rules AI can follow and create a system. But यहाँ कोई रूल ही नहीं, कुछ डिजाइन करना है, मेरे को कौन सा शर्ट अच्छा लगेगा, there is no rule. So I think this is the area where you should look carefully.
I think a lot of conversation has happened on leadership, politics, IAS officers, training of leaders, what is the future of IT and all the AI that's taking over. But I bring the creative and the innovative angle in it. Just last year, you must have seen that Baroda had horrible floods and the entire city was flooded. So when Bangalore is posted as the poster city of India to the world, but then everyone was within their rooms doing Zoom calls. So as an architect and urban designer, I was thinking that what is the point of India being projected as the next world power if we are not able to take care of our cities well? So who takes care of it? So it is the architects, urban designers, engineers, planners, the core fields that we are talking about. And core fields require hard work. So my message to all the students who are here to be aspiring to choose their right career is whether you end up choosing a creative field or not, creativity and innovation is needed in your day-to-day life. But I'm going to talk to you about architecture, design and fine arts. I'm so happy to see Nachiketa. Nachiketa is a standing example of getting the right creative guidance and then going into architecture. But also he is an entrepreneur running a foundation and an educational institute at such a young age. So what I'm going to talk about is some basics of what is architecture, what is design and what is fine arts. I think I might also have to guide Jigar Bhai's son after a few years because he mentioned about fine arts. And in fact, that's where we met him for the first time, where we were undergoing renovation of the Faculty of Fine Arts. And because of him, that we were talking about a heritage structure where there's this one narrow leg guy who came and said that I want to paint the entire building red. And because of him, I was able to put my foot ground as a young architect who had just returned from abroad, that we need not paint the bricks red, the bricks are already red. So all we had to do was a simple cleanup job of the algae and fungi that was growing on the building. And we ended up doing the renovation of Faculty of Fine Arts, which now hosts every department is a gallery. And if you go on 23rd and 24th of this month, they have an annual show going on. So I think if you are planning to go for fine arts, you better visit the Faculty of Fine Arts annual exhibition. It's open to all, it's for 2 days. So how does a creative career pathway look like? So most of the schools, what they do is they try to teach you drawing, which is very, very basic. Whereas architecture and design, they require aptitude based drawing. So what does aptitude mean? So as Jigar Bhai was saying that there is a app that someone has made that tries to test the aptitude. So how does one test the aptitude for architecture? How does one test the aptitude for design? Because the schools have never included architecture and design in their curriculum. The only drawing that I have been seeing from the last 30 years, ever since I was in school and ever since I have been looking at drawings of school kids, is 2 mountains, 1 river flowing through that and 1 lady carrying grass on top of her head. And that is the situation of teaching creativity in schools. So can we move beyond that? So I'm just going to show you a creative career pathway. So there are 3 main verticals. There is architecture, there is design, and there is fine arts. So for architecture, you might have to do BArch, which is Bachelor's in Architecture. So it's a core field like engineering. It's not a subset of engineering. Then you have design. So in design, you have Bachelor's of Design that has multiple streams. So someone might choose to do fashion design, someone might choose to do product design, someone might choose to do graphic design. Because IT is booming, people are doing UI UX design. People are doing interface design. So there are a lot of design disciplines that you can enter into. And talking about fine arts. So fine arts has BFA, which is Bachelor's in Fine Arts. Now in fine arts also there are different courses. There is painting, there is sculpture, there is mural, there is applied arts, there is museology, there is graphics and printmaking. So when someone talks about artistry, it doesn't mean it's just painting. So what I feel is that if you're choosing your career, most important thing is to educate yourself with an expert. And all you have to do is to find an expert. And nowadays, like because of AI and YouTube, you can just find this information online. Now, what is the career pathway? So in 10th grade, you start planning because whether to choose science or commerce or humanities is where you will be able to decide that whether you want to go for architecture or design. When you start preparing for architecture, so let's say after your 10th, and your exam oriented preparation doesn't happen after your 12th because most of the design exams happen before your board exams. So you have to start planning right after your 10th. Now, how do you graduate? So once you graduate, architecture has a different way of approach. So you need to prepare your portfolios. So what is a portfolio? It's your creative work that you bring on the ground. So whether you apply for your jobs or whether you talk to your client, you have to prepare your portfolio. It's a reflection of your creative work. And post-graduation is there where you can specialize in multiple disciplines. So whether it is landscape architecture or urban design or digital architecture, you can do various streams. So what is the exam structure? I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but there are 2 main components of it. If you go for architecture, you have to appear for National Aptitude Test in Architecture. So as JEE is for engineering, NATA is for architecture. If you go for design, there is NID exam, there is UCID exam. UCID is the IIT equivalent of design, and even IIT has UCID entrance exam. So with UCID entrance exam, you are able to apply to 200 design colleges across the country. Now, what is common in both? Drawing is common in both and aptitude is common in both. Now, what kind of aptitude? The aptitude is your general knowledge. The aptitude is your knowledge about geometry. The aptitude is all the subjects that you have learned in social sciences, geography, politics. They ask you all sort of questions because they want to see that what kind of individual or what kind of architect is being shaped who is going to save the city from the floods. So, how do you prepare for the exam? So there are two parts of the exam, drawing and aptitude, and then some institutes require portfolio. Now, architecture, design and fine arts are universal subjects. So even if you are applying in India or Singapore or UK or Australia, the language is the same, which is your drawings. So whether you study in India or you study in abroad, this is relevant universally. So that is one advantage that you might have against other disciplines, that the language of communication is drawings. When do you start preparing? So if you start preparing in March of 10th grade, August of your 12th grade is when you'll be able to get admissions in your colleges. So if you want to just take a picture of this graph, you should be able to see the career journey of becoming an architect, designer or fine artist. I already mentioned you about architecture as a global discipline. Now what are the advantages of being an architect? See, because I am an architect, I want to inspire a lot of people to get into architecture. So architecture study is not only about books. It's not only about being creative. It's a lot of things. So there is alumni, there is internship opportunities, there is community engagement, there are related study programs, there is a lot of traveling, there is group work, there are hands-on workshops. You are working with multidisciplinary teams of fabricators, carpenters, clients, artists, landscape designers, civil engineers, all sorts of people. But it's fun. What is most important that I like about architecture is the hands-on workshop. So you try to work with yourself in the most intuitive way and come up with solutions which are creative enough to get into such creative courses. Now, what are future opportunities for creatives? So I've just broken it into 4 categories. Specialization. So you can specialize as urban designer, you can specialize as landscape architect, you can specialize as a sculptor. Career in established firms. So there are a lot of well-established architecture and design firms. There are corporates also who require architects. License practice. So as CA, as law, architecture is also a licensed practice. So you need to require a license to practice architecture in order to create buildings. Associateships and established practice. So multiple architects can come together and design something. And creative course opportunities, which is it's a field where you can also teach. So you can also teach creativity, arts and design. Thank you so much.
भगवान ने ये दुनिया बनाई, आदमी अभी अपना क्रिएशन कर रहा है, अभी बहुत करना बाकी है. अभी आप देखोगे तो एक छोटा पान की दुकान वाला भी आर्किटेक्ट रखता है. See, there was a day where architects were kept by only those who are very rich. But now, even for a small shop, you find that people are hiring architect and getting their services. So architect, and among all, like civil, mechanical, electrical, architect is the only one who has an authority to sign the building plan, who approves. Based on his, various town planning and various government authority basically approve your building. So they are basically authorized, and that's why it's a 5-year program. All other graduate programs are only 4 years. So आपने सुना, what are the opportunities available in government? What are the opportunities available in engineering? What are the opportunities available in architecture and the product design? Now we have one of the most finest electronics engineer of the country, विजय भाई. बचपन से नंबर 1 रैंक, जो बच्चा फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड से फर्स्ट रैंक लाता है, ऐसा वेरी ब्रिलियंट पर्सन. He is basically with R&D department of ABB for a number of years, and he is still there. And he has developed number of things, and out of that, 18 are patented. So he is one of the most intelligent electronics engineer we have. And now I request Vijay bhai to say a few words. What are the career opportunities available on electronics? See, basically electronics is something which has been ignored by many colleges. पारुल तो उसने बंद कर दिया इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स डिपार्टमेंट, बच्चे आते नहीं हैं. सो देर आर लॉट मेनी पीपल एंड नाउ चाइना से अगर इंडिया को कॉम्पीट करना है, दे मेक सो मेनी टॉयज. सो गवर्नमेंट इज थिंकिंग ऑफ मेकिंग द रॉ मटेरियल अवेलेबल फॉर डिजाइनिंग एंड मेकिंग दोज इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स टॉयज. तभी वो रॉ मटेरियल भी अवेलेबल हो जाएगा. अभी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंजीनियर ही नहीं रहेगा तो हु विल डू दिस? सो देयर इज गोइंग टू बी अ ग्रेट डिमांड for electronics engineers in time to come. So let's listen from Sri Vijay Bhai.
Maybe Deepak bhai, what I will do is electronics topic we definitely touch on slightly at a later time, but since I see it's a complete, I will say, cross section of the students from 8 to 12 and then going forward. So we have already heard that there is definitely a strong need for good engineers, or I will say the good politicians, educated politicians, UPSC, GPSC. We also saw I will say the discussions talking about what are the various opportunities even towards the arts or say architecture or related domain. But first of all, let me say that even though I am an electronics engineer, for more than 3 decades I am also associated with the academics in one or other form. In the sense that I have been associated with the university as an external examiner. I have been associated with many universities on the board of studies panel. And my own, I will say, the thoughts basically, I will like to first bring at a very general level, at a very simplistic stage. First of all, whether you are an architect, whether you are an engineer, whether you are basically a fine, I will say the even a medical doctor or so, what is very important is to have a very strong foundation. And when I say the foundation, I mean it will be my appeal in fact to all the students who are here, that they first of all need to have very strong fundamental knowledge. So when you are doing your academics, whatever may be your interest, be science, be the commerce or art stream, don't lose your eye on the fundamentals. A solid foundation is the basis to excel in any of your future career, whatever you take as per your interest. So don't lose on it. See, even we said that maths or the general subjects, I will say a good understanding of maths is also equally important, whether you are even a doctor or whether you are an engineer or I will say a good chartered accountant or any discipline. In fact, if you see any of your exams, if you take in the today's context, the competitive exams and all, they are mainly moving towards MCQ mode. So you have multiple choice questions, and how quickly you react to those questions in the shortest available time in a correct way actually brings the difference. You definitely score the marks, but even a difference of 1 mark can take you, I will say, down the side of the rank from 100 to 200 down. So what is important is that first of all you need to have a very solid foundation. And solid foundation does not mean that you need to do something extraordinary. Just focus on the studies, what you are doing, and be sincere to it. In the attempt of acquiring something for the future, don't compromise on the present. This is very, very important. Now, while I talk about the solid fundamentals, let me also highlight that along with the fundamentals, it is equally important to have a good reading ability. We always say that yes, you have these modern gadgets. I am an electronic engineer. We also make use of laptops, iPads and all. Don't restrict your reading only to these devices. I have seen many a times, even in the classes of say 8, 9, 10, students have been more or less going to the notes, maybe something which is prepared, which is a small abstract of the complete textbook, and they start focusing on those notes as their part of coursework. It is important that if you want to differentiate, you want to excel in your future, basically it is easy to get 50, 60, 70 marks. What is important is that you all need to focus to get 100 out of 100. And to achieve that, you need to also excel in a good reading ability. And while I am saying the reading ability, it is not only the reading just for the sake. Read with a good concentration. Then comes the writing. See, if you again take the writing is the most neglected basically approach in the today's context. But you take most of the competitive exams, be it the NEET for the medical, be it the JEE, be it the JEE mains or JEE advanced, or you take any of this NATA or thing, or even I will say the NIT designs and all these competitive exams, most of the time you will find half of the students who are appearing at the end of the exam, they will say they found short of time. Why that is happening? Because they don't have even a good writing practice. In fact, why I should go back? If you take even the today's newspaper, you would have seen the Gujarati dailies talking about the JEE mains result. And some of the top performers from the city, if you try to read them, their views or opinion, what they have said, they were sincere. They have started writing the mock paper, say once in a week or once in a day and like that. So not actually going beyond, but first of all, again I am referring, fundamentals is very, very important, and the fundamental includes basically a good, basically reading, writing, and comes also another important point. See, if you want to crack not only the GPSC, UPSC, but even if you have an aspiration of going abroad, if you want to basically clear the TOEFL, GRE, GMAT, another big foundation is that where we are lacking, as a community as a whole, is a weak vocabulary. And for improving the vocabulary, I will also basically say that please make a habit, learn 10 words every day, new words. In a dictionary, you will find 50,000 words plus. If you try to improve your vocabulary right from the standard 8, in a 4 years, 5 years span, you would have gained another 20,000 words. And this can make a very big difference. A good vocabulary will help you to represent your views also in a more effective way and in a more concise way. So a good vocabulary is also equally important. Whatever the stream you take, but it is important to develop some good basic habits to excel. Now comes another aspect. Another aspect is basically what I am looking at is that in case you aspire to be in India or abroad, today the world is becoming globalized. And you will see that the India is also becoming a backbone of majority of the engineering organization across the globe, their design centers, their back end, basically the work is happening in India. And for this, it will be my request that if there is an opportunity in Vadodara, yes, we have multiple opportunities to also start developing at least a taste for one foreign language. Take any foreign language, be it Spanish, German, or I will say Italian or any, but try to take one foreign language basically. And university offers very good, the courses on this also at a very nominal fee. I can tell you, it can really make you at the top of the world. So having said it towards basically the student side, I will try to tilt even towards the parents. And what we need to remember is that those days are gone, where we used to see in the society that the most intelligent will go only in the medical, or he will take computer science or an IT as basically things. And possibly the one who does not have any options will go towards the art, or basically somebody who struggles in the academics may take a commerce industry. Those days are gone. In fact, I can say that the best performing student can take the arts, or he can basically take a commerce stream. It is his interest what is important. So parents should never force. Obviously this topic was also mentioned in the earlier reference, but I see this as also, we need to come out from this societal, basically the way the things are looked at. We need to give the freedom to the children, to the basically, I will say the students, and let them make an informed choice. I can tell you it is always good to be in the top 3 or top 5 basically percent of the students in whatever stream you are taking, rather than being the last in the most advanced branch. Because the opportunities, or even if you take any of the basically the corporates or the big organizations, whenever they go for the recruitments, they always look for the top percentage, whatever may be the branch. And even coming to be it the electronics, mechanical, civil or so, after they join a corporate, a civil is not treated, differently than an electronics engineer, or an electronics is not treated differently than a mechanical engineer. All the engineers are treated with the same parity if you take any organization. It's only that the extent of an opportunity may differ for a particular stream. But having said it, it is very, very important that we need to keep this in mind. Coming to my domain, electronics domain, I can only say that this is again a golden era for the electronics, be it in Gujarat or across. So when we talk about the soft and other elements, it is again basically the embedded part of all these things gets done through an electronic engineer. So yes, there is multiple opportunities. You might have seen a lot of initiatives, even the present government has been taking up for the establishment of the semiconductor chips and related manufacturing organizations in Gujarat, and so also I will say in the other parts of the country. And I can tell you that backbone for all these activities comes from the electronics engineer. Yes, there are multiple offshoots of the electronics branch. So be it the electronics and communication, be the electronics pure, be the I will say the VLSI, that is basically the chip design and all. So there are multiple branches, multiple offshoots, depending on the interest one can go. But having said it, it is also important to note that if you take most of the engineering organizations, the organizations may be manufacturing an electronic product, but it may happen that it may have more employment in at least our region for the core discipline engineers. So it is not that a organization is manufacturing an electronic product, so he will look for all the engineers to be electronic. There will be definitely the need for the mechanical, electrical or other streams. But yes, there are tremendous opportunity. Let me also highlight that in our region, in the western region, since the employment opportunities are limited, I also saw that as against the number of the vacant seats which have been available, or the seats which had been available in the engineering discipline, colleges across, basically all the colleges started with the electronics as one minimum common, the discipline for the admissions, and therefore there had been an inflation, I will say, of the engineers passing out as against the employment opportunities in the western region. But the same thing is not true if you go to the southern side, if you go towards basically the other part of the country. Today, there again the electronic is one of the top filling brands. So don't get basically, I will say, disturbed by the situation in case your interest is electronics. If your interest is not electronics, definitely go in the branch where you have an interest. It is important to pursue the discipline where you have an interest and try to follow it. Yes, we will take some more questions later on the specific topic, but I had been a bit generic on the focus.
Thank you. In fact, Himanshu Bhai and a few other people will give a cheat if you want to ask a question. So you write down your question and pass on that questions to me, so that I'll ask them in a properly framing, so that there won't be any duplication of questions, or the questions which are not the syllabus of this particular curriculum. Those questions we will not ask to the experts. So we'll filter out those questions, but you can write down your questions, whatever you have, and we'll take those questions. So there are three subjects people study. There is no subject other than these three. One is mathematics, second is language, and third is the drawing. If you take chemistry, it's a subject, it's a language. If you take physics, it has a maths, it has a drawing, it has a subject. So you take any subject, there are basic three subjects. And anyone who is expert in two is successful in his career. So if you are good in maths, probably you are poor in drawing, but average or better in language, you excel. So Vijay Bhai has given a good suggestion: learn 10 subjects a day, which is very easy. You make one faculty strong. your maths anyway has to be good. Whether you are engineer, non-engineer in your life, maths पीछा छोड़ेगा नहीं. There are people I have seen when they come to us and the moment I say X, बोलेगा सर वो वापस X आ गया. वो X देख के उसको बुखार आ जाता है. So you have to be with mathematics. There is no way out. So now हमने बहुत बात कर ली. We have got two more experts sitting here. We have M.R. Patel sir, who was the principal of various engineering college, and he is a pioneer for developing various engineering colleges in Gujarat. And one of the fine-tuned principal who has basically designed various policy for the government, Department of Science and Technology and Director of Technical Education. So he is with us, and we have Shailesh Bhai, who was basically heading the ACPC. 10th के बाद डिप्लोमा का और 12th के बाद जो इंजीनियरिंग का जो कॉमन पोर्टल है जहाँ आपका एडमिशन होता है ऑनलाइन. So he was basically the in charge of ACPC. So anybody who has a question on how admission process take place, so basically he can help us. So you can ask why I added these two gentlemen over here, so that you can ask questions which will be relevant to these two people. So let's look at सब इंजीनियर बनेगा तो ये धंधा चलाएगा कौन? कॉमर्स तो चाहिए. You need somebody who will take care of your finance, who will take care of your various legal aspect of doing business, of doing job. तो इकोनॉमी चलेगा नहीं. Engineer cannot run the economy. So we have a very brilliant chartered accountant, Param Doshi, and I request him to throw some light on what are the career opportunities available for the people in the commerce. And we are coming back with those people who are with engineering. So, Param.
Thank you, sir. So, first of all, good evening, everyone. Thoda zor, sir. Good evening, everyone. Actually, as Pankodi madam rightly said, कि in this hot summer, coming here at 4 p.m. in the afternoon on a Sunday, when most of us might prefer to sleep at home, so it's a really great effort that you all made. And before I start with my deliberation on commerce, seeing that I am probably the only person who's representing the entire general stream over here, I would like to first give due credit to Jigar sir for sowing the seed, where he said कि जरूरी नहीं है कि as parents or even as students, when we see our peers doing something, कि हमें यही करना है. And then Vijay sir rightly said that we have to debunk the age-old myth that the person or the students who are very brilliant will go for science and the students who are left out will go for general stream. ठीक है. And इसके लिए अगर मैं कहूँ तो I tell you my own story. I scored 93% in 10th standard with 100 out of 100 in maths and 99 out of 100 in science in Gujarat board 2012 में. And yet I chose commerce, which was which was a surprise to everyone in my school, in family, in social circles, everywhere. But what I want to point out over here is it's not your marks that define what stream you will choose or what profession you will choose. It is your interest. And I'll tell you कि जरूरी नहीं है कि you need brilliant minds only for science. You need absolutely brilliant minds even for commerce, even for running a business, even for running the economy. So when we talk about the general stream, school में हमेशा ये होता है कि you have science and you have general. हम लोग भले commerce बोलते हैं but लिखा जाता है general stream. And general stream gets subdivided into two parts, which is commerce and humanities. So now in the school, at the school level, basically for commerce you have 4 subjects, 4 basic pillars of commerce education, which is accountancy, economics, statistics and business studies. And humanities में क्या करते हैं? They remove accountancy, they add psychology. This is what is basically done at the school level. And when we talk about these 4 core pillars, so starting from the 11th standard, or rather I would say कि those who have just appeared for 10th standard examinations, अगर आपको explore करना है You have this time for vacation. You start exploring the commerce subjects also along with science. Why? Because when you build the very basic foundation in accountancy or very basic foundation in statistics, it is going to take you a long way. अगर हम जाते हैं 11th and 12th के बाद and we take the commerce subjects first. So if you are great at accounts, you have all of the courses in accounting and finance, starting from bachelor's of commerce, that is BCom honors. You go higher, you get to chartered accountancy. You get into finance fields, so you have certified financial planner. You have a chartered financial analyst, that is CFA, CFP, CMA, that is cost and management accountant. All of these people are related to accountancy and finance. उसके बाद आप जाते हो, you take statistics. Let us say that is a second subject. Statistics में if you are very good, you can go for Bachelor of Arts, right? You can go for statistics as a major. You can go for data science because that is the in thing now. भले कितना भी AI आएगा, but AI को भी train करना पड़ता है. You have large data warehouses, you have large data lakes which need to be sifted through, which need to be organized. उसमें से आपको results निकालना, usable results. That all of that is covered by data analytics. And for data analytics, the strongest discipline that you need is statistics, right? Third, you get into economics. So if you are very good with economics, you can go for Bachelor of Arts or Master of Arts in economics. You can go for a doctorate or any such higher degrees. You even have a lot of foreign qualifications in economics. And ये economists कहाँ पे काम करते हैं? The people who are running the country. As sir rightly said, कि consistent power is with the civil services officers. And वैसे ही similarly, the people who are actually driving the country, who are actually driving the policy, are all of these people. Economists, statisticians, civil service officers, यही लोग country को चलाते हैं. The politicians that we see, the MPs, the MLAs, all of these are just a face. उनके पीछे इनको drive करने वाला एक पूरा जो team है, that comprises of economists, statisticians, and everyone. So if you are very good with economics, then definitely you have the chance to contribute towards running the country. And we come down to the last discipline, that is business studies. If you are very good with business studies, then that can be translated again into law. आप legal field में जा सकते हो. If you are good with business studies, you can go for CS, that is company secretaries. So basically, जो चारों core pillars है of commerce education, each of these core pillars translates into one or the other lucrative career. You get into humanities, right? If you are very good with humanities, if you are interested in humanities, then of course you have an entire field of design and arts, which is already covered by Priyank bhai, so I won't delve much into it. Apart from that, psychology, you have various disciplines in Bachelor of Arts also. You can go for home science. Home science में भी काफी सारे disciplines हैं which are actually very good. For example, you have food and nutrition. You have again interior designing in home science. You have fashion designing. All of these things are also there. And given the current scenario, ऐसा नहीं है कि एक particular career option ही सबसे best है. If you are good at whatever you do, you will definitely make a lot of money, a lot of fame. You will live a comfortable life if you pursue something that you are good at. Otherwise, I have seen friends, I have seen relatives where they were not good at something, but peer pressure की वजह से उन्होंने एक stream select किया and today they are nowhere. So don't let peer pressure or don't let societal pressure dictate what you want to do. अगर मैं कॉमर्स में थोड़ा ज़्यादा डिटेल में चाहता हूँ, let us see we talk about all the three qualifications which start with the C, जो normally एक साथ गिने जाते हैं, that is CA, CS and CFA. So CA Chartered Accountancy, you have a 3.5 to 4.5 year course. You have 3 levels of examination. Similarly, for company secretaries, you have 3 levels of examination. नाम अलग अलग है, but basically it's foundation, intermediate and finals. The third, cost and management accounting, थोड़ा ज़्यादा specific, थोड़ा ज़्यादा constrained subset है, but it is a specialization. After doing chartered accountancy, it is not necessary that you stay only in the accounting field. जैसे सर ने AI की बात की कि AI is now taking over a lot of coding and technical jobs. ठीक है? I'll tell you, we recently had a convention of all the chartered accountants for a faculty development program for AI, which is run by ICI, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. We were a total of somewhere around 120 to 130 chartered accountants over there, जिसमें से
nearly 70 to 80 chartered accountants are working full time in AI development, application development, and computer programming. Chartered accountants full time working in AI development and computer programming. वैसे ही you have chartered accountants who are politicians, you have chartered accountants who are working in other fields also. You have chartered accountants who are educators, you have chartered accountants who are actors in the film industry. So this is one field where not necessary कि ये करने के बाद मैं सिर्फ accounting करूँगा या मैं सिर्फ tax करूँगा. Even if I am pursuing my career as a chartered accountant, उसके अंदर भी I have specializations. So there is someone who might be very good at audit, there is someone who might be very good at accounting, there is someone who might be very good at tax, right? And ये तीनों चीजें important है for running the business, as rightly said in the introduction, कि सब लोग engineer बनेंगे, सब लोग products बनाएंगे, but there is somebody you need to sell those products. There is somebody you need to track the finances. कि आज मैंने product sell कर दिए, but उसके बाद क्या? Am I making a profit? You know, all of these startups that we talk about, all these startups that we hear about, सारे के सारे startups high valuations लाते हैं और हमको बहुत ही lucrative लगता है. लेकिन वो सब किस basis पे चलते हैं? They have this fancy term called top line valuation. What is top line? Top line is basically sales. आज मैं 1000 करोड़ का sales करूँगा, but if I deduct all of my expenses, and at the bottom if I'm making a loss of rupees 50 crores, is that a successful business? Yes or no? It's not. So as an accountant, be it अगर आप simple सिर्फ BCom कर रहे हो, BCom honors कर रहे हो, I mistakenly use the word simple. It is not simple at all. This industry today and the coming times, despite all of the computerized accounting things, will need some very trained, very disciplined core accounting professionals, right? And as the person over here who is trying to make a stand for the accounting profession, I must tell you, आप जरूरी नहीं है कि everybody clears chartered accountancy to be a good accountant. Now you will find a lot of chartered accountants who are experts in taxation, who are experts in law, but who are not so good in accounting. And उसके साथ ही वो एक ऐसे BCom graduate या BCom honors या MCom masters के किए हुए बंदे के साथ बैठेगा who is very good with accounting, and that accountant is going to help the chartered accountant do his work. So it is not only the qualification that matters, but what matters is whatever qualification you take, whatever field of study you opt for, उसमें आपको specialize करना है. As Vijay sir rightly pointed out that you need quality. Whatever field you take, you need to develop quality, you need to develop your expertise. And having said that, once again I would like to summarize by saying that if you are looking to get into the accounting field or into the commerce field or humanities, don't think of it कि भाई मैं science नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ इसलिए commerce कर रहा हूँ. Don't think of it in the sense कि if I take commerce or if I take humanities or if I take the general stream or the arts field, what are people going to think of you? Because those people who today think of you as something less because you are going for general stream are tomorrow going to come back to you for handling their finances. Thank you.
I would urge all the Gen Zs out here to please ask the questions, because I've been seeing all the parents writing the questions instead of the students. This is Yuva Manthan, not Parents Manthan, please understand this.
I would like to add 2 points which is missed out by our panelist, because I am a lady. I always like to say something regarding to your daughter child, to the parents. Never stop them to do what they want to do, saying that it's not good for you, यहाँ पे तो लड़के लोग जाते हैं, ये तुम्हारे लिए नहीं है, यहाँ पे hard work बहुत है. Don't do that. Allow them to do. And also once they select it, what is happening, the parents are not allowing daughter to go for a job outside their own territory. Very talented, rankers, girls, very good practically, but they are not allowing them to go out of the Baroda. And that kill their skill and their self-confidence in that. So one point that I would like to add, that if your daughter is there, please encourage, make them very independent and self-supported and believe on them to go anywhere and do their best. That is one thing. And second is we have to follow, the new generation has to go for the skill India. So whichever line is there, you need to develop the skill of that thing. Practical knowledge of that is very much necessary. Curriculums are also be changing accordingly. Internships are also getting compulsory. But you also try to give certain exposure to your child. Like a foreign country, you know, the summer jobs are there. So that type of thing also can be think of to develop your child.
Yeah, adding on to what Dr. Hirani Goli said, for ladies, you know now that in engineering colleges, especially IITs, NITs, 20% reservation is being kept, and that's going to be increasing. One trend that is there in the industry today is inclusivity, right? And it is becoming almost like a mandatory thing, inclusivity. And companies are not willing to do business with another company if they find that the other company is not encouraging inclusivity. So corporates are forcing inclusivity on each other, especially corporates from the West, okay? Which is a great thing. Some of the companies I know, they have mandated it today. For example, Dow Chemical, which is the second largest chemical engineering chemical company in the world. I used to be working there. 50%. It can't get better than that, right? 50% has to be ladies. So it's a great time for you people, number one. Secondly, during the, my daughter is in second year doing electronics and communication in Manipal, and we gave up to some point when she had got a borderline kind of a score in JEE mains, thinking, oh, she's not going to get into NIT. We were very clear that if she doesn't get into the top 5-6 NITs, we will not pursue remaining. And we said, okay, Suratkal she won't get. She won't get into Trichy, she won't get into Warangal, she won't get into Malviya, she will not get into Nagpur or something like that. We just left it. Don't give it up. Keep following it till the last spot rounds. When I went to give lectures in many of the NITs, IITs, IIMs, and when I went to give a lecture back into my alma mater, NIT Suratkal, just last, I think December, I was shocked to find out 6 seats in chemical engineering were left vacant with no takers. In NIT Suratkal, which is supposed to be one of the best in chemical engineering in the country. Because there is no takers, we were willing to put our daughter into chemical engineering, but we simply thought that we gave up that, okay, she's not going to get it anyway. So don't go, because the statistics have still not kind of reached the equilibrium. It's still giving you, because of COVID, the statistics that have come out are, you really can't rely on them. So please keep an eye till the last round, the spot round. You will find some vacancies in core branches in fantastic IITs and NITs. Okay? Thank you.
So we will take up the questions from the audience. But before we take the questions, so there are 4 types of people exist today, youth. One is educated and who has a skill. he knows the subject, he can perform. So for them, industries are there to take them. The second kind of people, they are educated, but they don't have skill, only on paper. There are third type of people, they are not educated, they don't have any qualification, but they know the subject better than any educated person. And there are takers, industry take them. And there are guys who are not educated, they don't have skill, they live their life anyway better than any of those educated. So I just want to understand what are the importance of the formal education, and without getting into the formal education, because formal education has become very costly. And at the end of the day, ultimately the industry look at the skill only. Then why don't you focus on the skill and develop the skill and get into the industry? So what do you suggest to the students or parents that which career path they should choose? Whether they should spend money and acquire degree, costly, without getting any skill, or they can get into the skill directly. What they should do? Because without qualification, industry don't take. But I have seen many people who are skilled and they are performing well in the industry. They don't have a qualification. And especially I have seen in a small and medium scale industry, people don't go by qualification. They normally look at what you can do, I'll pay you. आपके पास 10 डिग्री है, but मेरा काम नहीं कर सकते हो, तो आप मेरे काम के नहीं हो. And even if you don't have any degree, but if you can do my 10 jobs, you are my champion. So, what path a person should take? Our champion is there.
It's all right. It is a common worries to everybody that what to do. I'll just give you one example. So many kids, particularly, they are master than the old people in mobile. Have you seen any school or college who teach how to use mobile? No. It means today mobile is a need of everybody. I think in India also, our population is of 135 crores, means 1350 millions. You can find how many mobiles are sold per day and changed by the people. Why they are changing? Because they found that my person who is adjoining to me, he has got very good mobile than me. So they ask the parent to pay the money, recharge it, change it into that. So this example is today is a live example. I'll give one another thing. The graduation, qualification, I consider as a passport. But the knowledge is a visa. So if you don't have a knowledge with education, then I think you cannot go to any good country in the world. So second example I would like to give that today the more the kids, girls and boys are parent oriented, because the first thing I will say that parents should learn first. You should find out your life, how you struggle in your life to reach to this position. Do you want your son or daughter should so go to the same path? He has to wait that he become a graduate and then think what he can do? No. I am serious to say that schooling education should force by government, that should be a career classes should be there from 7th standard to the 10th standard, because after the 10th standard you can't teach them, because he has already decided what to do, a commerce, arts or science or whatever may be there. Today is a competitive world, but I say that each boy or girl has to grab only one job, not thousands of jobs. But now you should prepare yourself in such a way, I can easily get one job. But the job is not a question. The parent wants their sons or daughters should earn thousands of rupees or lakhs of rupees within a very short time. Because our lifestyle has changed such a way. I just give an example that we are looking for inspiring people of arts and commerce who are not getting the good job. They said that we will train you in a technical technologies, because in technical technologies experts are not available, and the basic engineer do not see that what they can do. But you will be laugh that when we ask the student, can I get 30,000 more salary? I said, how? That my pocket expense, my mobile expenses, my vehicle expenses are so that he don't like to take the job which is less than 30,000. And I ask the parents, can you say to get a job of 30,000 is easy today? The jobs are available. Yeah, jobs are available. But they ask the first question, what you will give against my 30,000 rupees? You don't have anything. So today, the demand and supply of the industry or of the world, the demand is there, but supply is ample. But required persons who can be employed are very less. The world, forget about world, the Indian scenario is only 10% of the people are really employed in their demand line. They demand very good engineer or computer engineer or software engineer. But have you got a knowledge? There he fails. So my just suggestion to the parents is, or not to the students who are already matured or maybe in 7th standard, but those who are in schooling also, primary school, all there, ask them to do what they wish to. First to 4th standard environment engineering subject is there. What he can understand the environment engineering subject. And the same subjects is repeated in education from 1 to 4, 5 to 7 and 7 to 10. Sorry for this. Just I said that my only one suggestion to the parents, those who are remain present or who has got contacts with the other parents also, please convey them that ask your son or daughter, and if he cannot give answer, I have asked one question, but the daughter do not be in position to say what should I do. That is too poor sign of our new generation. So please open your mind, ask them what to do. If they are not knowing, you expose them that if engineer is working, how it is working, which are the lines are there, this there. So if you do it, I'm sure tomorrow's world for youngster will be very good. Thank you.
So he is one of the
please come. So we are lucky to have Mr. Kameshji, who is one of the top HR professionals. I have seen him doing good job at HR Milestone and HR Kitli. So since he was there, so let's take an opportunity that what are the options available in HR.
Yeah, good evening everyone. Good evening to one and all present on the dais. My name is Kamlesh Jagesi. So मैं 10 साल से HR फील्ड में मेरा जो करियर है वो परस्यू कर रहा हूँ. So I'm currently working with Prakash Chemicals, one of the top 5 chemical company into a chemical trading unit. So a lot of churning happened. You know, I was taken aback in my initial journey when I started my career. So सभी चीज़ें almost cover की हुई हैं. मैं कुछ चीज़ें touch करना चाहूँगा which I have practically experienced while interviewing candidates. मैं जनरली ऑन एन एवरेज में 5 से 6 बच्चों को ऑन डेली बेसिस आई इंटरव्यू, दोज हु आर ग्रेजुएट्स एंड पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट्स, नॉट ओनली फ्रॉम B grade college, but even if I see from top A colleges as well, that includes IIM as well. Other than not having clarity at their initial stage, like when they are into primary, secondary, college life, graduation, what other factors that I have realized is, even after completing masters, paying hefty fees of during masters and doing extra courses, spending 2 to 3 years in a particular profession, they regret. Okay, Kamlesh, I am into a wrong profession. I want to back off from XYZ profession that you have hired me. I want to restart my career. And it happens with almost every third, fourth candidate that I have interviewed, not only into my current organization, but in all the organizations I have been there. All my fellow colleagues, I know people working in other MNCs as well, other Indian-based companies as well. Almost every third and fourth professionals we have observed that they regret कि 3 साल स्पेंड करने के बाद, 5 साल स्पेंड करने के बाद they feel कि बहुत मैं गलत प्रोफेशन में हूँ. I am not enjoying the role I have been given. I have opted for myself. And when we did a research, couple of remarks and conclusion point that we got is students not having a single-minded focus while they are in the journey of graduation and post-graduation. They have diverted focus. That's number 1. Number 2, they don't follow their gut. Again, I forgot. Param. As Param rightly said, peer pressure. Most of the students, they fall into a peer pressure, right? So my only suggestion to all the students would be to have a very intense approach when you are going to take any of the stream. Unwavering, single-minded focus towards it. Coming to HR, so again, like CA, CMA, ICWA, in commerce, when you look at MBA as your formal professional degree, you can do your MBA into HR as well, rather than banking and insurance, marketing and sales, economics and stuff. So HR is the one who is very closely working with humanities. For that, one needs to be very much good in psychology as well. People, advocacy as well. So, yeah, any particular question if you have for me, we can discuss.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So we have a retired defense person, and he want to say about 1 or 2 minutes about what are the futures available in defense navy, and then we'll have Jigar Inamdar sir to highlight what are the options available, how you can prepare.
Good evening everyone. My name is Santosh. जिगर सर के लिए और इस पूरी टीम के लिए जोरदार ताली हो जाए प्लीज. इतनी धूप में संडे के दिन एक सोशल रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी निभा रहे हैं. इसको बोलते हैं सोशल रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. चाहते तो घर में अपने फैमिली टाइम भी व्यतीत कर सकते थे, लेकिन हमारे और आप जो है हमारे देश के भविष्य, यू आर द फ्यूचर ऑफ इंडिया, इसलिए हम ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड हैं. अब मुझसे रहा नहीं गया, मैं चाहे चलो मैं भी 2 बातें आपको बता दूँ. ये 8 से 12 की जो स्टैंडर्ड है टाइम, ये बाय गॉड बहुत ही क्रिटिकल टाइम है. 8 से 12 4 साल जीवन में सजा और आगे वाले जीवन में पूरी मजा. ये बात आप नोट कर लीजिए. जो 8 से 12 की पढ़ाई है आपको पूरे दिलो जान से करनी पड़ेगी, तभी आने वाला जो वक्त आएगा आपका वो अच्छे तरीके से गुजरेगा. और एक कहावत है ना, नेवी में हम कहते हैं कि फिजिकली फिट एंड मेंटली टफ. आप पढ़ाई में बहुत अव्वल है, ठीक है, लेकिन आपको फिजिकली फिट भी रहना है. दिन में 1 घंटे अपने शरीर के लिए निकालिए. अगर आप डिफेंस एग्जाम के लिए जाएंगे 1.6 किलोमीटर की दौड़, सॉरी मैं पास कर रहा हूँ सर, 1.6 किलोमीटर दौड़ जो दौड़ाएंगे, सुबह नहीं दौड़ाएंगे, आपको दोपहर के धूप में, कड़ी धूप में दौड़ाएंगे, और वहाँ से आप फेल हो जाते हैं तो पूरे परिवार का सपना टूट जाता है. अगर आप डिफेंस में जाना चाहते हैं तो कम से कम 1 घंटे अपने शरीर के लिए निकालिए. और जीवन में आप कुछ भी बनिए, IAS बनिए, IPS बनिए, लेकिन एक अच्छा इंसान जरूर बनिए, ताकि जैसे ये सर लोग आपके बारे में सोच रहे हैं, आप भी यहाँ आकर के आप जैसे बच्चों के लिए, देश के लिए अच्छा करें. जय हिंद, जय भारत.
regarding defense, since he took this topic, I think yes, it's something which is, don't mind me just quoting earlier Field Marshal Manek Shah of Indian Army, who said when he was giving a talk, I think somewhere in Gujarat, I'm not able to recollect the place, and everybody started telling him, please speak in Gujarati, please speak in Gujarati. And he said, he looked at everybody and he was silent for some time. He said, I'm actually astonished that you people are asking me to speak in Gujarati. Apparently he was a Gujarati, right? And but what he said was that everywhere I go to South in Tamil Nadu, I go to West Bengal, I go to UP, I go to Punjab, I go to Assam. People ask me to speak in their language and I do speak. But when it comes to Gujarat, I don't find in defense people speaking in Gujarati. So to say that Gujaratis somehow were not so much into defense. They don't join Army, Navy, Air Force. But the opportunity is so tremendous out there. It's so exciting out there. It's not so much about war. War hardly happens, right? Because today's war is going to be completely different. If it happens, everybody is finished. So I don't think there will be war so much. And if it is to die for the country, it's to die for the country. But what's important is that the career that it provides is unimaginable. And I think that's something which people should really consider. And I think in the schools and colleges in Gujarat, people should be given that, they should be taught on what are the scopes available and, media provided, means provided for them to get trained and then, participate in NDA and other places. Yeah? Thank you.
And I think so, if you are really interested in that, go for Sainik School. They train you for the same. So join Sainik School from it and prepare yourself for defense. So Sainik School is one of the option if you are really 100% you want to go in that.
For me, जब दीपक भाई ने बोला कि इस रेफरेंस से मुझे कुछ जवाब देना चाहिए, I was struggling. See, एक जनरल जो इंफॉर्मेशन होता है ना, वो किसी के भी पास होता है. And if for the sake of speaking, मैं कुछ भी बोल देता. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि for these people and for these people, जीवन में एक बात हमेशा ध्यान में रखनी चाहिए कि when we are going to deliver an advice to anyone, एडवाइस लेने वाला बहुत श्रद्धा से आपको सुनता है और उसके मन में एक भाव ये होता है कि जो एडवाइस दे रहा है वो इस फील्ड का एक्सपर्ट होगा. अनफॉर्चुनेटली टीम में से एक भी विंग, आर्मी, नेवी, एयरफोर्स, उसके रेफरेंस में मेरे पास कोई एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, ना मेरा कोई अभ्यास है, ना इसके रेफरेंस में मैंने कोई ट्रेनिंग का कोई मॉड्यूल डिजाइन किया है. सो व्हाट आई विश टू सजेस्ट इज, जैसे दीपक भाई ने, नचिकेत भाई ने ये एक सेमिनार आयोजित किया, आई टेक दिस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कि वो जब भी आर्मी, नेवी, एयरफोर्स, मिलिट्री, पैरामिलिट्री, ये सब जो विंग्स हैं डिफेंस की, उसके रेफरेंस में कोई सेमिनार अगर ऑर्गेनाइज करना चाहे तो मैं इसके जो एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, जिन्होंने इसमें काम किया है, जो चूज हुए, रिटायर हुए, वहाँ तक का सफर जिन्होंने तय किया है, ऐसे लोग, ऐसे व्यक्ति जिनको सैल्यूट करने का हमें मन हो, वो मैं अरेंज करने का प्रयास करूंगा. बट myself eligible to speak on this topic, क्योंकि मेरे पास इसके रेफरेंस में कोई इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है. दीपक भाई ने बहुत भाव से मुझे कहा कि आप पहले बोलिए फिर उनको बुलाते हैं। मैंने कहा उन्हीं का फील्ड है, उन्हीं को बोलने देते हैं, क्योंकि ना मैं कभी अपीयर हुआ हूँ, ना कभी मैं एनसीसी का पार्ट था, मैं कुछ नहीं था इस रेफरेंस में। तो और जब मुझे मेरे पास इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है तो मुझे एडवाइस नहीं देनी चाहिए, इसीलिए मैं इससे विड्रॉ हो रहा हूँ। बट दीपक भाई, नचिकेत भाई, जब भी ये अगर कुछ प्लान करते हैं तो सभी एक्सपर्ट्स को लाने की जिम्मेदारी पर्सनली मेरी है।
Definitely, my brother is also principal of Sainik School, handling 7 school just now. So he is also there. He is in army. So he will be also here if
Thank you,
this type
Yuva.
of program
So
is
much
on.
You are always encouraging people for a program like this. So thank you very much. Now I'll take questions. What is the difference between EC and E? E.
EC is electronics and communication, while the E is electrical engineering. So if you take actually the core branches, then electrical is a mother branch and electronics actually comes as a subsidiary of basically the electrical engineering. It's only that over a period of time, the electronics course and basically the contents have matured to such an extent, the portion of the electrical engineering becomes thin, and then there is more focus on specifically the electronics. That is basically I will say the theory linked with the specific semiconductors. So when we talk about the electrical, we talk about all the three. I mean the conductors, insulators, and the semiconductors, while the EC specifically focuses on the semiconductor part. I think that in case the answer needs more elaboration, then
There are a lot of questions about ACPC. There are a lot of people who has asked the question. So I think that once the results are out, see, ACPC keep on changing their portal, the way you apply. If you look at the portal 3 or 4 years back, and if you look at today, there is a change. So the information which will come to you may not be relevant, so that we will have a separate session once the results of 10th and 12th are out, and when the ACPC things are about to apply. So we will request Shailesh Bhai to say a few things about ACPC, and then
normally what happens, that the person is passed out, then he will realize I get 90%, something like that. He's enjoying. And his parents also take him out for the tour. Now what happens, during that time, some advertisement is out and last date of applying is also over. It is, in reality it is happening in the life. I have seen. So when you are pass out, there are 2 types of exams, you all must be aware. One is the academic exam, another is the competitive exam. Academic exam, there is a rules like that 35% pass, 60% first class, 70% like this if there are 60 students. And out of that 60, 58 may be pass out. Then there is a competitive exam. In academic exam, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, it is fixed. In competitive exam, it is nothing like that, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. There is no syllabus. What is the difference between the standard 12th exam and JEE? Anybody can tell me? HSBC exam, student is pass out, percentage is declared. But in JEE, there is a cutoff mark, there is a no pass out mark. Cutoff is important. There are 60 students in JEE, 5 vacancies, 5 will get through. There is nothing like passing. And second thing I will tell you importantly, regularly, religiously, you should visit the website, and day-to-day activity you should watch and carefully read the rules and regulations. I will give you one typical example of the medical admission. One gentleman came to me and they said that in medical nowadays what happened in NET, one they decide the cutoff 130. If they do not get the sufficient student, after 2 weeks they decide now cutoff is 120, something like that. Now when 130 cutoff came in the newspaper, all the students are no, okay, 130 is the cutoff. Now when 120 declared, it is not a newspaper item. So some people may not be knowing and they are not applying and they miss the round. So it is important to visit, and the first round is very important. When first, I think the doctor has told that there are certain important inamdar sir, that up to last round you should keep the hope. That is also important. But in the first round all seats are vacant. Sometimes it is happening, it is a choice based allocation. Number 2 has selected first branch X. He doesn't have much knowledge. I remember there is one gentleman who has the 75th rank in the Gujarat board, and he has selected Surat Textile as the first choice. So he is out. In the first round he got the Surat Textile. Because he has asked the first choice is Surat Textile, he got. So in the first round, filling the choice is very important. And every time we need to see all the notifications. That's all.
As we have many questions on ECPC, so what we have discussed here is we are organizing Saturday evening talk. So next Saturday we will be keeping a tutorial for how to register on the ACPC portal. So if you want further details, so please contact the numbers which will be listed below. Thank you.
So ACPC, because there are a lot of questions on ACPC, and without showing the portal, somebody says that how to create a login and those kind of questions are basically asked. So those things are basically you require to log in and show you on the website that how exactly you are going to apply and how numbers are generated. So we'll take the help of some experts and we'll see that next Saturday we will have a session on. So all of you, please write your mail ID and mobile number, mobile number, so that we'll send you the link, maybe online and offline both, so that you can join. How to select the college? Is college important or branch important? See, I'm looking at, there are certain branch which has got a lot of value. So shall I select the branch and whatever college I get, I take the admission? Or I go for the number 1 college and whatever branch I get, somebody says that I want MSU. So whatever branch comes, I'll go to the MSU. So if you want to answer.
Hello. I have a good experience of how to get admission in engineering college. I was 20 years in engineering college and I've seen how the admission goes. No doubt the rules and regulations are changing every year, but the procedure will never change. It will become more smooth. You are not supposed to go for anything. I think your results are going to be out in the next month. By the time admission committee has already prepared the portal, everything, only they are waiting for the results to come. And they are also organizing the different seminars in the different cities also. There is now not to worry how to fill the forms and all. The procedures is standard. When the result is out, they will give advertisement in most of the newspapers of Gujarat and India. Now, my questions which has come also, which is related to the admission also, so that I am just taking little bit more time just to highlight. Only you have to go on a one bank, pay the money, you will get one cover, which is your password. And they are giving, earlier they were giving the books, but now the books is not given. All the things is available on portal. and you have to study and do it. And there are centers are established by admission committee to help you how to fill up the forms and do it. And then choice will be, earlier it was very questionable, but before you go for the choice and college, I would like to just say two things is there. You first select your interest in which branch. Then you select, everybody knows that they wanted to go for a better college, best one in India or maybe in Gujarat. But the admission is on the merit basis. You cannot get. And there is a reservation policy of government also, will also be stop you certain things which is not available to you. Because it may be open to the reserve category, but it may not be available to you. That question which was with me is allotment of seat comparisons of CBSE, GSB board in all colleges like IIT, NIT and state. IIT and NIT do not have different quota for CBSE or anything. You have to appear in JEE exam, then they will find out a cutoff like 85, about 85% today. 85 percentile, don't consider percentage is the question. It is a percentile. And percentile is, if you are getting 85% percentile, it means there are 15 percentile people from total student appeared in exam will be ahead of you. So now a percentage is now gone, percentile has come. And now admission of state college is also based on percentile, but I would like to throw the lights that in CBSE and the state board, the percentile has got very good play of number. Suppose if you are 85 percentile in CBSE, it means the total number of students appear or passed out in CBSE are 15% of the students are ahead. Now suppose if there are 1 lakh students appear and only 15,000 students are ahead of you. But when you go to the Gujarat State Board and there are 20 lakh students, just I'm giving example only between difference between these two. So 15% of that is only 3,000 students. So percentile will be a very peculiar load. So the scenario says that if you are in a state board, your percentile has got more chance to get the same 85% of CBSE will get X and you will get Y, but Y is ahead of X in state board. Sorry for this. Now ACPC, don't worry for it. It is so simple. There are centers will be there, guiding will be there, and advertisement will be given by government to help you. So don't worry for admission is concerned. But only you just select which branch you would like to there. And then you select the college. But before college selecting, I just add, if you select the college, you visit the college and take the interview of the student who are studying in that college. Will help you a lot rather than you decide. Thank you very much.
In that same context, I wanted to get something. I think I think the person who asked that question, to select college or university and branch, was also trying to ask whether I should give preference to college over branch or branch over college. If that's, yeah. So let me tell you my story. And I'm sure it will not be different from any of you, except that during our time, there was no internet, and now it's internet, so you people are a little more, or rather I must say, way much more educated already before you choose which branch of engineering, right? Because you know which branch of engineering caters to what, more or less. But during my time, it was not there, and it didn't matter. I mean, what do I understand? What did I understand? What was mechanical engineering about? What did I understand? What was electrical engineering about? What did I understand? What was chemical engineering about? I understood nothing. For me, मुझे engineer बनना था. okay, to get a good job. So I studied and I got a very good rank, and I landed up in metallurgical engineering. I got into Roorkee, I got into so many other very good universities, but Surathkal being close to my house, I mean, closer. I used to be in Bangalore that time, and so I chose Surathkal. And I got into metallurgy. And when I was in the college, after I got into the college, started talking to the various engineers, seniors, then I came to know this is this. And I chose, after my first year is usually common in all colleges. So after the first year, you get a high score, then you can apply for a branch change. I changed over to chemical engineering. So, and it was by choice because there was other, electrical was available to me, mechanical was available to me, but I preferred chemical because by then I had known what is chemical engineering about, right? So, what is important is that, yes, studying in a great college is amazing. If you have to choose between IIT Bombay and IIT Gandhinagar, any day IIT Bombay would be, anybody will say, okay, you've chosen IIT Gandhinagar, not IIT Bombay. But then what branch attracts you? If you get to know it well, then better go for that branch. You get comp science in IIT Gandhinagar is better than doing, say, mechanical in IIT Bombay. Okay? But if you're not sure, go for the college. Because from that college, no matter what you study, and as long as you are in the top 10%, top 15% of the college, of that branch, you will have a bright future. That's very important. Okay? And I'll just finish this and then I'll give to you, because this is a continued question. What is the scope? Let's read it like this. What's the scope after becoming a chemical engineer? Somebody has asked. Most people, 99% of the people, and whom I have talked to, I just asked them one question. Do you like chemical engineering? No, I have to study a lot of chemistry. It's absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. There are 48 theory papers in 8 semesters, only 4 papers of chemistry. What about the remaining 44? 90% is not chemistry. It's mathematics, it's physics, and it's engineering. Including, it also includes drawing, design, a lot of instrumentation, electronics. So, first of all, understand you are in the heartland of chemical companies in the country, and you should know it better than anybody else. Okay? And chemical engineers in Gujarat, if anybody has the better opportunities, it's people from Gujarat. Okay? Because you chalte firte raaste mein you get to see chemical industry. Just drive down till Ankleshwar, you'll get to see only chemical industries. So chemical industries, there is a lot of scope. Chemical engineers have a lot of scope. To share a joke with you, I'm a chemical engineer. My son is a chemical engineer. He is going to be submitting his PhD thesis in Columbia University in New York next month. His wife is a chemical engineer. His father-in-law is a chemical engineer. His mother-in-law is a chemical engineer. Okay. So, my daughter drifted. Okay. So, chemical engineers are your basic glorified plumbers and chemical engineering starts in the kitchen of your home. Okay, right from boiling onwards to all the big process units that you see is all chemical engineering. So for any manufacturing unit, non-mechanical, non-electronics and all, where everything that you use, right from your tea onwards to your the soap, whatever. So everything, the fuel that you use, it's all because there are chemical engineers on this earth. So there is so much scope across FMCG industry, oil and gas, refineries, petrochemicals, pharmaceuticals, agrochemicals, everywhere. You have a lot of scope. You can be a design engineer, you can be an operation engineer, you can be an optimization engineer, you can be all over the place. So great scope for chemical engineers, and there is a severe shortage of chemical engineers. Severe shortage. Okay? Thank you.
I just want to touch upon on the first topic that you have addressed. Like students are confused between going for the stream, sticking to stream in order to get for the admission to good college, right? मैं अगर आपको सिंपल लैंग्वेज में कहूँ ना तो चीज़ ये है कि कभी भी स्ट्रीम से कॉम्प्रोमाइज मत करिए. If you are very much interested towards, say for example, chartered accountancy, engineering, or doctory, stick to the stream. Never ever compromise with your stream, because why stream is your destination. अगर आपको यहाँ से दिल्ली पहुँचना है तो you will have, अगर राजधानी में ट्रैवल नहीं कर पाओगे तो you will have another train जो आपको 1 घंटा लेट पहुँचा देगी, right? So it's better to compromise with not getting into top 1 college, top 2 college, 3rd, 4th, that's okay. आपको वो एक्स्ट्रा मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी, but never ever compromise with your stream. That's it.
Before I answer my question, I think the question is quite like a chicken and the egg situation. I'll give you my own example. I studied in a private institute in Vidyanagar when I did architecture, because I decided quite last minute to actually end up doing architecture. So after graduation, I had applied for my master's and I got into MIT in Boston. I was there for 1 month. But because I studied in an independent architecture college which was run by, of and for architects, it was difficult for me to adjust to a more university level degree, and I always aspired for a university education like MIT, Harvard, Columbia. But then I was not able to adjust for my first 2 months of education. And then I took a transfer into a private college which was established by 5 architects in California, called Southern California Institute of Architecture. So this college was founded by 5 architects who moved away from MIT because their curriculum was very rigid. So colleges don't matter. What matters is the stream. So whether you want to do any stream, colleges do matter. They matter to get you jobs. But if you want to be self-employed, or if you want to run a successful foundational program, if it's strong, then I think colleges don't matter. I'll come to my questions. When to begin classes for NATA exam, after 12th or before 12th? So ideally, no school teaches you any aptitude or drawing related to architecture. So I suggest that you start after your 10th, because there are certain decisions that you might have to take. As sir mentioned, that if you are from Gujarat board, there are more seats in Gujarat. If you are from central board, then you have acceptance of getting admissions all across the country. If you have taken science, then only you are allowed to do architecture. So there are certain decisions that you might have to take immediately after your board exams of your 10th. So ideal preparation would be in your 11th. And don't consider your NATA classes as your hobby classes. They are not drawing classes. They are properly career-oriented guidance classes, so they need to be given priority and time. So before you end up taking all the concept schools and all the scams that you end up taking, like Akash and JE and all that, if you are aiming for architecture, none of this is needed. All you have to prepare for is NATA entrance exam. Second question comes is, which is the best class in Vadodara? So there are a lot of private institutes that run in Baroda. If you are interested in a more foundation level learning, then I have a coaching academy. You can contact, it's called Meraki. Do we need to give JEE paper 2 and good set? So JEE paper 2 is for architecture colleges to get into NITs and engineering colleges. So there are two bodies that are operating architecture in India. One is AICTE and second is the Council of Architecture. So the license giving body is the Council of Architecture. So if you want to become a practicing licensed architect, then I would suggest that you go for COA schools which are through NATA. And if you are appearing for JEE paper 2, there are some good institutes, but there is not a single institute in Gujarat. So if you are looking for a more national career, then JEE paper 2 is needed. Good set is not needed for NATA. So if you are clear that you want to appear for architecture, then don't give good set. It's not needed. If not, then does it affect on your board exams? No, but NATA considers 50% of your board results as mandatory requirement of your NATA merit. So let's say for example you got 80% in your boards and you got out of 200, 120 marks in NATA. So your NATA merit is 120 divided by 4 and 80 divided by 2. So you will be getting admission into college based on your board result and your NATA merit. Got it?
छह सवाल हैं। पहला सबसे सिंपल है, वहीं से शुरू करते हैं। ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का नाम और कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर। सो इट इज़ संवर्धनम एकेडमी, संवर्धनम कैरियर डेवलपमेंट एकेडमी। अलकापुरी में विंडसर प्लाजा नाम का एक बिल्डिंग है और विंडसर प्लाजा बिल्डिंग में 7th फ्लोर पे ये एकेडमी स्थित है। मैंने अभी गूगल करके चेक किया कि गूगल पे अवेलेबल है कि नहीं, गूगल पे भी अवेलेबल है। सो संवर्धनम एकेडमी, Windsor Plaza, Alkapuri, A Wing, 7th floor, and contact number is 99250 88857. I repeat, 99250 88857. सुबह 9:30 से शाम को 5:30 बजे तक, मंडे टू सैटरडे ये एकेडमी ओपन होती है। संडे को बंद इसलिए होती है क्योंकि संडे को लिफ्ट बंद होती है और 7th फ्लोर है तो आप भी नहीं जा पाएंगे, बाकी सबको भी तकलीफ होगी, तो इसीलिए मंडे टू सैटरडे। तो ये उसका डिटेल है। सेकंड क्वेश्चन सिमिलर है, व्हाट मोर डिटेल्स अबाउट जीपीएससी क्लासेस एंड हाउ टू अप्रोच एंड एनरोल फॉर द सेम। तो अप्रोच कहाँ करना बता दिया आपको, बाकी की सारी डिटेल आपको वहीं पे मिल जाएगी। जो 8th स्टैंडर्ड से शुरू करना, उसका सिलेबस तैयार होने में अभी समय लगेगा क्योंकि मैं दिल्ली में किसी के परिचय में हूँ और उनको ये जिम्मेदारी सौंपी है। टू बी ऑनेस्ट, अब तक उन्होंने काम शुरू नहीं किया है। उन्होंने मुझे प्रॉमिस ये किया है कि मई में, फ्रॉम 1st में आई विल स्टार्ट, बिफोर 31st में आई विल गिव इट टू। तो वो जून में मैं दे पाऊंगा क्योंकि इसलिए हमने इसका अप्रोच जून से रखा है कि जून के बाद हम स्कूल का अप्रोच करने के लिए जाएंगे। एक गुजराती में अच्छा सवाल है, न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में परफॉर्मिंग आर्ट्स का इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है। सो जिनका ये सवाल है उनके लिए आई सजेस्ट वन पर्सन, ये है डॉक्टर राजेश केलकर। राजेश केलकर ये डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ वोकल के हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट है और फैकल्टी ऑफ परफॉर्मिंग आर्ट्स के वो डीन रहे हैं। और अभी कुछ दिन पहले एक नेशनल सेमिनार में हम दोनों साथ में स्पीकर थे। उस दिन मुझे पता चला कि नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी और परफॉर्मिंग आर्ट्स, इनके ऊपर उनका अभ्यास क्या है। मेरे पास प्राइमरी इंफॉर्मेशन है, बट जब मास्टर खुद प्रेजेंट हो तो फिर स्टूडेंट को बीच में बात नहीं करनी चाहिए। सो यू गो एंड मीट हिम, यू कैन गिव माय रेफरेंस, उनको बोल सकते हैं कि जिगर ने आपसे मिलने के लिए कहा। और बेसिकली ये है कि जो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी हमारी तैयार हुई है, फर्स्ट रिएक्शन एकेडमिशियंस का जो था वो ये था कि ये इम्प्रैक्टिकल है और इम्प्लीमेंट करना इम्पॉसिबल है, पर नेसेसरी है। अब नेसेसरी है तो इम्प्लीमेंट करना चाहिए, तो इम्प्लीमेंट करने की जो जद्दोजहद है वो सब चल रहा है और उसको इम्प्लीमेंट होने में समय लगेगा। और उसमें परफॉर्मिंग आर्ट्स, फाइन आर्ट्स, स्किल और बेसिक जो बात है वो ये है कि मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी अप्रोच है न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में। तो अगर आप एज ए स्टूडेंट ऑफ साइंस केमिस्ट्री की लैब में कोई एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहे हैं और आप साथ में जाके वायलिन सीखना चाहते हैं तो डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इंस्ट्रूमेंटल म्यूजिक में जाके वायलिन भी सीख सकते हैं। ऐसा अप्रोच इसमें है जिसको इम्प्लीमेंट होने में टाइम लगेगा बट होगा। और ज़्यादा डिटेल आप केलकर सर को अगर मिलेंगे ना तो इट विल बी ईजियर फॉर यू। वन इज व्हाट टू डू फ्रॉम बिगिनिंग टू बिकम साइकोलॉजिस्ट एंड फ्रॉम विच स्टैंडर्ड। सो लकीली आर्ट्स फैकल्टी में अप्लाई करने वाले जो स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं उनका फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस जो होता है वो साइकोलॉजी होता है, सेकंड होता है वो इंग्लिश होता है, थर्ड होता है पॉलिटिकल साइंस होता है। और इंग्लिश में और साइकोलॉजी का कट ऑफ जो होता है ना वो 85-90% के ऊपर होता है। और मैं साइकोलॉजिस्ट नहीं हूँ। सो 2 people फ्रॉम MS यूनिवर्सिटी, वन डॉक्टर परीक्षा जिजीना। डॉक्टर परीक्षा जिजीना इज ए टीचर ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइकोलॉजी। मुझे ऐसा लगता है एक हमारे HOD सर भी है, HOD सर को रहने देते हैं क्योंकि वो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव बहुत सारे कामों में बिजी होते हैं, तो HOD सर को डिस्टर्ब मत करिए। परीक्षा मैम है, परीक्षा मैम के पास भी आप एज ए लेवल जाएंगे तो भी शी विल आंसर, इफ नीडेड यू कैन गिव माय रेफरेंस। तो साइकोलॉजी में कौन से स्टैंडर्ड से तैयारी करनी चाहिए मुझे नहीं पता है, और परीक्षा मैम इज द बेस्ट पर्सन टू गाइड ऑल ऑफ यू, तो उसमें वो हो जाएगा। विच आर द मेन सब्जेक्ट एंड सेक्टर इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर UPSC। एक गढ़वी सर है, मैं फर्स्ट नेम भूल रहा हूँ, गढ़वी सर DYSP है बड़ौदा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, और 1 मई 2024 को जब हमने संवर्धनम लॉन्च किया उसके लॉन्चिंग में हमने 2 IPS को इन्वाइट किया था। वन वॉज मिस्टर रोहन आनंद, डिस्ट्रिक्ट सुपरिटेंडेंट ऑफ पुलिस, एंड सेकंड वॉज गढ़वी सर। गढ़वी सर DYSP है, अभी 4-5 साल पहले वो IPS बने हैं। उस समय उनका जो कहना था और जिसके साथ मैं सहमत हूँ, ऐसा माना जाता है कि UPSC की एग्जाम में आर्ट्स का बैकग्राउंड बहुत ज्यादा उपयोगी होता है। हकीकत में ऐसा नहीं है। आपका कोई भी बैकग्राउंड हो, आपका इंटरेस्ट, आपका इंक्लिनेशन वो UPSC के साथ जुड़े हुए सब्जेक्ट्स में अलाइन होना चाहिए। और आजकल पिछले 10 सालों में जिनका इंजीनियरिंग का ग्रेजुएशन है वही लोग सबसे ज्यादा क्वालिफाई कर रहे हैं UPSC। मेडिसिन MBBS करने वाला व्यक्ति वो UPSC क्वालिफाई कर रहे हैं। सो देयर इज नो स्पेसिफिक सब्जेक्ट, स्पेसिफिक डिपार्टमेंट, जस्ट आपका इंटरेस्ट, आपका इंक्लिनेशन, आपकी समझ, तो यही ज्यादा जरूरी है। आपका कोई भी बैकग्राउंड हो, बैकग्राउंड से डरने की जरूरत नहीं है, बैकग्राउंड से उत्साह में आ जाने की जरूरत नहीं है। आपका मन उस दिशा में अर्जुन के लक्ष्य की तरह स्पष्ट होना चाहिए, तो वो क्लियर हो सकता है। कैन वी स्टार्ट द प्रिपरेशन फॉर UPSC ड्यूरिंग आवर बोर्ड्स? मैंने ऑलरेडी जवाब दे दी, 8वीं से शुरू करना है। तो बोर्ड्स में भी मम्मी पापा मना करेंगे कि नहीं, बोर्ड में सिर्फ बोर्ड का पढ़ो, बोर्ड का पढ़ना, पर ऐसा सोचना ना कि भगवान ने आपको 23 घंटे का दिन दिया है, ठीक है, आपके पास 24 आवर है ही नहीं, वो 24 आवर बोर्ड के और बाकी सब कामों से बाहर निकाल के आप UPSC के लिए दे सकते हैं, देना चाहिए। Is one's future secured if he or she has cleared UPSC exam? Yes, till 60 and if you are honest. ठीक है, 2 कंडीशन है। अगर करप्शन करोगे, पकड़े गए तो सस्पेंशन, कोई बहुत ज्यादा ब्लंडर कर दिया तो डिसमिसल। अब उस टाइम पे मेरा कॉलर पकड़ने मत आना, वैसे मैं कॉलर रखता नहीं, और उस टाइम मुझे पकड़ने के लिए मत आना कि आपने तो बोला था कि 60 तक सिक्योर है, आप ऑनेस्ट हैं, ठीक है, काम कर अच्छा करते हैं, अच्छा हो पाएगा। देखिए, जीवन का भरोसा कुछ नहीं है, मैं बोल रहा हूं, अगले मिनट में हूं नहीं हूं मुझे नहीं पता है, पर टिल 60 यू हैव अ चांस। और सबसे ज्यादा सिक्योर ये है, इससे ज्यादा सिक्योर मुझे नहीं पता। एक डॉक्टर है, मेडिकल डॉक्टर, मेरे वाला PhD वाला डॉक्टर नहीं, मेडिकल डॉक्टर, वो जिए तब तक सेवा कर सकता है, यानी 60 पे इनका तो खत्म हो गया ना, डॉक्टर का लाइफ टाइम रह सकता है। पर ऐसे हर एक करियर है। शिक्षक, तो शिक्षक को पढ़ाने के लिए स्कूल में या कॉलेज में जॉब होना ये जरूरी थोड़ी है। जहां शिक्षक है ना वहां पे विद्यालय है, वहां पे महाविद्यालय है, वहां पे विश्वविद्यालय है। शिक्षक के यहाँ पे विद्यालय जीवित होता है, तो शिक्षक जहां बैठा वहां पे स्कूल शुरू। तो एक शिक्षक है जो लाइफ टाइम हो सकता है, डॉक्टर है वो लाइफ टाइम हो सकता है। मैं इंजीनियर्स को या चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स को किसी को डिग्रेड नहीं कर रहा हूं, वो लोग भी अपने लेवल पे कुछ ना कुछ अच्छा काम कर सकते हैं। सबसे ज्यादा पावर ये इस जगह में है, आपकी जॉब जब तक है तब तक। डिटेल्स, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन, मटेरियल फॉर प्रिपरेशन आफ्टर जून तैयार है। ठीक है, ये यानी उसे एक 1 आवर डेली जो करना है तो वो 5000 घंटे का हम उसका तैयार करने का प्रयास करेंगे। सो इतने प्रश्न मुझे पूछे गए हैं, तो इन प्रश्नों का मैंने जवाब देने का प्रयास किया है। अगर मेरे लिए कोई प्रश्न ना हो तो मैं दीपक भाई, नचिकेत भाई की परमिशन चाहूंगा, अगर मेरे लिए कोई नेक्स्ट सवाल ना हो तो, क्योंकि एक लेक्चर देके यहाँ पे आया हूँ और नेक्स्ट एक लेक्चर शेड्यूल है 7 बजे। मैंने उनको मैसेज कर दिया कि मैं थोड़ा लेट आऊँ, कब आऊँगा पता नहीं है, तो मुझे जब परमिशन दी जाएगी तभी मैं जाऊँगा। તમે કેસો પછી જાઓ, મેં તો કીધું પરમિશન આપો ત્યારે જઈશ।
So, जिगर सर बहुत ही बिजी शेड्यूल से आए हैं and he is having a good experience and I have visited that institute. That institute has got a very rich library. वहाँ बहुत अच्छी जगह है। आप बिल्डिंग में जाओगे तो आपको लगेगा यार कहाँ आ गया, बट आप जैसे इंस्टीट्यूट में जाते हो तो आपको लगेगा अरे वाह, आई हैव कम टू अ गुड प्लेस। सो बहुत ही अच्छी इंस्टीट्यूट बनाई है। वहाँ जो लोग बैठे हैं, जो बच्चे सर्विस दे रहे हैं, दे आर ऑल्सो वेरी नाइस एंड आपको बहुत अच्छी तरह समझाएंगे। आपको हर एक को वो इंस्टीट्यूट एक बार विजिट करना चाहिए। यू मस्ट विजिट विंसर प्लाजा पे। अच्छी लाइब्रेरी बनी है, बहुत सारे मैगजीन्स आते हैं, बच्चे वहाँ पढ़ते हैं, तो इट्स अ गुड प्लेस। सो जिगर सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच। वी हैव Keyur Bhai from Institute of Engineers who has also worked equally hard with Nachiket for designing this forum, and I request Keyur Bhai to offer a memento and the book and the certificate to Jigar sir. Jigar sir doesn't require certificate.
I am really sorry कि ये सब बीच में हो रहा है।
No, no.
और बाकी सब एक्सपर्ट बैठे हैं।
नहीं, आप
आगे का टाइम संभालना, इसीलिए मैं परमिशन दे रहा हूँ।
हमने तो क्या है, वो फॉर्मेलिटी ही सब खत्म कर दी। नहीं तो नॉर्मली प्रोग्राम में क्या होता है, एवरी स्पीकर स्टैंड अप एंड ही से थैंक यू टू इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंजीनियर्स, प्रेसिडेंट, चेयरमैन, ये सुन के आदमी पक जाता है, ही लूज द इंटरेस्ट। तो मैंने वो सब हटा दिया। इनफैक्ट इंट्रोडक्शन ऑल्सो वी पुट वेरी शॉर्ट। पीपल विल कम टू नो द फैकल्टी वंस ही टॉक एंड ही इन अ वे he has come out with lot of things and you also know him well कि अभी वो आदमी कैसा है। तो जिगर सर, thank you very much for accepting our invitation, giving an excellent speech। ये सब बच्चों ने बहुत सारा सीखा है।
That all of you are really fortunate that you got to know in your 8th to 12th standard that how you can become a UPSC aspirant. I got to know after 34 when I was frustrated that how can I make changes in the city, and then I realized that how much power does an IAS officer have. So I think it's a really amazing career, and as he mentioned that politicians तो 1 साल 2 साल 3 साल एक टर्म रहेंगे, but IAS officers or IPS officers will stay forever. So it's a great career.
Sorry,
Yeah, 2 more questions at my. Oh, there are so many questions here. Okay, 4 of them. What is the specialization after mechanical engineering or specific course for masters? See, mechanical is an evergreen branch. Every industry needs mechanical engineers. So you have a lot of scope. Mostly you will have in automotive industry. Okay, so though automotive industry is moving from engines towards EVs, but you still do not know where the world will go. So there is still a lot of scope in automotive. Secondly, in robotics, see, nothing is single discipline in the industry. It's all multidiscipline. Different disciplines together, different branches together form a product. So, you have robotics, which is a combination of electronics, communication, and your mechanical engineering. So that's one thing. Thirdly, machines, compressors, pumps, you name it, turbines. These are massive machines, very, very critical machines. So you can specialize into them. So sky is the limit. There's a lot of, because it's one of the evergreen branches. So there is a lot of scope everywhere. And again, as I said, mechanical is not any exception. It's a core branch, which is again extremely short in the market today, especially rotating equipment engineers like pumps, compressors. We do not get in the market today. They command tremendous salaries. If a 10-year experienced gets X, probably mechanical engineer will get 3X if they are in the rotating equipment space. So you have a lot of opportunity. Explain degree engineering or diploma. Because there is a shortage of engineers in degree engineers, there is a lot of dependency on diploma engineers today. Okay, even ITI, who are just vocational training kind of institutes, they are being paid very well because there is such an acute shortage, and it's going to continue. And if India has to bid for 2036 or even 2040 Olympics, imagine we have to start producing, we have to start having good quality engineers, diploma engineers today who will learn for the first 6-7 years and then contribute to making those stadiums and other whatever infrastructure that is required, which will be ready by the time it is 2036 or 2040. So the demand is only going to continue to increase. Otherwise, we will have to start taking people from Philippines, from Indonesia, and other places, which we better avoid naturally, right? With such a big country, if we have to fall upon other countries, it's the biggest shame. So degree as well as diploma engineers have equally good opportunities, especially that you have got 3D modeling, drafting. Nowadays nobody does drafting on the board. It is all on AutoCAD or on and you have other 3D modeling softwares. So these are all called designers. So you get into you design the things on software platforms. So, and the software platforms keep on changing. So you have to keep yourself abreast of that. But opportunity-wise, immense. And difference in both, which is most valuable for good job. What happens is, let me tell you, in diploma, you are not taught too much of design. What I call of design engineers are those basically 3D modeling. But beyond that, when you want to do a component design, your principles and your design practices are not being taught in diploma because that's after 10th standard, right? So naturally, your engineering is going to give you a added advantage. But having said that, if people cannot afford to wait till to do the engineering and want to start doing your diploma right early because you may be having a financial compulsion or you may just be wanting to take off straight away, let me tell you one thing. In my career, what I have observed is, diploma engineers, after doing your diploma, who have gone and done engineering, BE, are far better engineers than the people who have done just BE. because they think and breathe engineering. They are much better. So that's one thing for sure. So, and secondly, we are an institution of engineers. Institution of Engineers runs an engineering course called as AMIE. Right? AMIE engineers are extremely good. Extremely good. AMIE is not easy to do, but once you do your diploma, you can opt for doing an AMIE, which is a part-time course, not an easy course. Maybe it's better to do your engineering elsewhere part-time, but the value you get of doing AMIE is tremendous. I know some of the world bodies, best of the engineers are AMIE engineers. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, so I have got a couple of questions. Let me first start with the first question is, are costly coaching centers like IIT Ashram or LN necessary for a student who is performing distinction? I will also take another question and then I answer both. So the first question still continues. If yes, then how persons like you gained expertise? Another question on the same lines is, nowadays there is a trend to join concept school. So it is advisable to join concept school in standard 9. So let me first say that if the student is performing well and if he is able to meet the academic, basically I will say the performance, concepts development, then for sure there is no need to take an external coaching. Because if I take my own case or many, the cases, coaching is not necessary. Coaching is required, be it LN or anything, to basically overcome the concepts where you are weak. If you are able to perform well, you have some good mentors. See, mentors and coaching are slightly different aspects. So if you have good mentors, if you can go to somebody to clarify some of the doubts, and if you are able to perform well, then no need to take basically an external support. And if I take my case or many other knowns to me, never in my life I had gone to any coaching center. Another basically question was related with the concept school. So here I will again say that the student at a given, their academic stage, if they are already taking a support of a coaching center, taking some tuitions and all, and they are also going to the school. Now in that kind of a mode, I will definitely advise that rather than splitting their focus on two different basically parallels of their academics, it will always be good to have one single focus, and maybe the concept school is a better answer in those situations. So I am not saying that by default go for a concept school, but yes, concept school definitely is a better option if you are having already a two different basically step approach. That is, you go to the school, you also go to for the tuitions. Then basically in the today's context, optimizing your time and at the same time having a stress-free study, possibly concept school can be an option in those situations. So that's another question. Third question is, can the job of becoming a commercial pilot be overtaken by AI, artificial intelligence? For sure, my answer is plain no. Artificial intelligence cannot substitute human. At no point of time, artificial intelligence can substitute human. It can definitely substitute couple of the tasks, but when you take, for an example, a commercial pilot role in the aircraft, then the aircraft presently also has lot of artificial intelligence aspects already built in. You have like a cruising mode where without the pilot, the aircraft is already basically cruising in the air. So you have definitely artificial intelligence or all the kinds of technologies supporting and coming as the aid, but when it comes to take a final decision, obviously human still plays a vital role, because there are many uncertainties. You would have seen, many stories, forget about the aircraft, but the autonomous cars and all, and you will find that there are many classic examples which also reflects that why I still human basically presence is important than having a fully autonomous system. So artificial intelligence for sure in the present context cannot overthrow the human part. Can you reflect, this is another question on the section of fire and safety. For sure, see, when I say fire and safety is more a certification course. It is not a full-fledged, basically a bachelor or a kind of I will say a degree certification. But yes, if you have got a particular bachelor degree in any of the engineering discipline and you want a additional certification, fire and safety can definitely be one of the dimension. For sure, in the industries, in fact, if you take the modern trends, there are the concepts of HSE, that is health, safety and environment, and these are couple of basically the aspects which in the today's context industries have been looking for. But there will not be many jobs. See, in an industry there can be only one fire and safety officer or with a subordinate. But if you look at the core branches, you have multiple options, multiple basically the opportunities and openings available. There is another question, how can I know what can I pursue after my 10? I think it's a very open question that what I can pursue after 10. Maybe I need to talk to you as an individual, what are your interests, where your strength lies, and then for each individual that can be definitely an option. But this reminds me that in between there was a mention about the new, the education policy, and I will like to highlight one aspect linked with the new education policy, be it the engineering also. You have an exit option and re-entry option at an end of every year. So if you are in the first year of an engineering and at the end of the first year of an engineering you possibly say that you didn't enjoy and you want to take a break, or you want, then the new education policy gives you that option. So at the end of the first year you take some additional credits and you are given a certificate. At the end of a second year possibly you want to take an exit, you are then given a diploma. Like this, by the time you finish your fourth year, then you have a degree. So new education policy gives this multiple entry and exit option. So even after 2 years you can take a break and again rejoin in the third year within a stipulated time. So all these permutation combinations also exist in the new education policy. Then another question is, if student is not having clarity after 10th standard, whether to opt for maths or biology in 11th standard, what should be the parameters to decide? Specifically if the student is currently not very good at mathematics. For sure, there are many options other than even the mathematics. So it is not that everything goes only through the roots of mathematics. Obviously, other than the sciences, you have multiple options. But even beyond these also, there are multiple, I will say, the possibilities, and you just need to explore. So like we saw the fine arts related parts, performing arts related part, all those options still exist. So don't get constrained in case you see any challenge only with the mathematics. Okay, even though this question is not there, this just reminds me one important message to all. For sure, we all work hard, we try to basically excel in the exams. And at the end, definitely we should get all the best possible results. But I have come across many cases where for any reason, it may be some, I will say, family reason, for some issue, and the student at the end of an exam possibly finds his result is not in line with his expectation, or he finds that it has fallen short with his dreams. I can only tell you that in the today's basically career opportunities context, there are hundreds of opportunities. So if for any reason you are not able to get your desired marks, don't lose the hope. You can always approach, I will say, through, the Roshni Foundation, even to me, I can show you hundreds of options. So it is definitely, I am not wishing that you get some inferior marks, but for any reason you end up, there are multiple possibilities. So please keep in mind, it is your determination which is important, and at any stage there is a fail-safe mechanism. That there is always an opportunity to again go back to the course, whatever you would like to intend for. There are multiple possibilities. So like as there was a mention of AMI and all. I think there are multiple institutions, multiple online opportunities, multiple offline opportunities other than the standard degree pursuits.
So the question that I have.
More questions.
The question that I have is ACCA a good course for 11th standard student? Now, for the ones who asked this, and because most of my discussion was based on a general stream, let us deep dive into the chartered accountancy course, basically accounting qualifications. In India, we call it chartered accountants. In the US, they call it a CPA, that is certified public accountant. UK and the entire European Union, Singapore, Australia, all of them again they call it chartered accountants. Canada calls it a CGA, that is a certified general accountant. So when you get into the accounting profession, every country has its own accounting profession and its own accounting body, right? And in each of these countries, it is the person, the practitioner of that accounting body who is going to get more priority over a qualified personnel of some other country. When we talk about ACCA, so ACCA is basically a UK-based body. I myself am ACCA qualified. I am an ACCA member. After pursuing my chartered accountancy, I completed my ACCA. Now, ACCA is a UK body. UK itself has its own ICAW, that is Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, just as we have Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So, ACCA is basically a course which is focusing more towards the management side of an accounting professional or a financial or management consultant side. And in all of the countries, ACCA normally has, in what in layman terms we can understand as a second priority compared to the qualification of that country. So nowadays what has happened is, because chartered accountancy is seen as a difficult course, because chartered accountancy is a group based system where if you have 6 papers in intermediate, you have 3 papers in group 1, 3 papers in group 2, you have to qualify the whole group. To qualify those 3 subjects, if you fail even one paper and you don't have exemptions and all, you have to appear for all 3 papers again. So that is the chartered accountancy course. As against that, ACCA has 13 papers over 3 levels. It also has 3 levels. It also has the requirement of getting 3 years of practical training before you are qualified as an ACCA. But the only plus point that students see in ACCA is, in ACCA you can appear for 1 paper at a time. It is not fixed that I have to appear for 6 papers or 3 papers at once. If I can go for 1 paper at a time, then I can prepare for that paper, qualify that paper and put it aside. Then I start focusing on the next one. That is the only reason why students see ACCA as an easier course. But in practical terms, if you consider the Indian market, at any point in time, the Indian CA in the Indian market will always get more priority over ACCA. Secondly, when we talk about public practice, that is practicing chartered accountants, all of you might have heard. So let us say audit services. Audit services cannot be provided by ACCA in India. In India, only the practicing chartered accountant who is registered with ICAI can provide an audit service. They can provide assurance and certification services. This cannot be done by ACCAs. So across the country, yes, ACCA is gaining traction, but at the same time, its roles are more focused towards accounting and towards management consulting as opposed to auditing, taxation, financial consultancy, etc. So ACCAs cannot practice in India. If you want a corporate job, or if you are looking at a global level, that you want to be in a global network, then definitely ACCA is a good course. I'm not against ACCA because, as I said, I'm personally qualified as ACCA. But I would always say that in the Indian context, in the Indian market, an Indian chartered accountant will always have more priority over ACCA. And similarly, even in other countries, if you go to Singapore, a Singaporean chartered accountant will always have more priority over ACCA. Singapore does not give practice rights to ACCA. India does not give practice rights to ACCAs. ACCAs get practice rights only in European Union and in the UK. Even in UK, for a practitioner, the UK's chartered accountant will always have higher priority over ACCA. So if you want to get into a corporate job or into a multinational job, especially in accounting and management consulting division, ACCA is good. But if you want to get into other aspects of an accounting profession, then definitely the chartered accountancy course of whatsoever country you want to practice in will always be better. That's all.
Last question. one line answer.
Somebody has asked how we view the on-the-spot round. You should rely on the government website, ACPC or ACPDC. You also visit the college website. Nowadays, the website visiting is very compulsory, every day. Not that आज देख लिया 2 दिन के बाद देखूंगा. That's all. Thank you.
So that's an end of marathon inning of experts. All the questions are answered, and we all are very much thankful to all the experts who has provided this service. Without getting tired, almost 3 hours, 4:30 to 7:30, non-stop, without any formality, is purely delivering the knowledge. So this was an excellent program and very nicely, and they have covered a lot of topics. So I request each expert, in fact I am going to say Inamdar sir also, that if you can spend 1 page or half page write-up of your speech, that nectar, so that we can compile, and those who are here, just leave your mail ID. We will see that this detail goes to you. So in case something has gone out or some English words you might not have understood what exactly the faculty is trying to say. But one good thing which I like to say कि मुझे बॉम्बे जाना है, बॉम्बे की ट्रेन में जगह नहीं है, अहमदाबाद वाली ट्रेन में जगह है तो मैं उसमें बैठता नहीं हूँ. I'll wait for the next train which take me to Bombay. तो आप अपनी डिसिप्लिन पे जड़े रहो. As you said rightly कि अगर मुझे मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर बनना है, that is something where I like, and I think mechanical is the most versatile branch. मैंने मैकेनिकल वाले को केमिकल में काम करते हुए देखा है, इलेक्ट्रिकल में, आईटी में आर्किटेक्ट भी बनते हुए देखा है. And I am a classic example that when I went to New Zealand and I was delivering a talk on the CAD software. So when I talk on the electrical software, that fellow thought that I am an electrical engineer. Next day I spoke on mechanical software, then he thought that I am a mechanical engineer. Then I talk on architecture, then he thought that I am an architect. So fourth day he could not restrain himself. He told me, "Arey sir, आप पढ़े क्या हो? What is your qualification?" So mechanical is the only one who can get into the number of branches. So I am not here to market mechanical, but that is basically a reality. And the diploma are the scarcity. Most of the colleges has top diploma colleges because MA में उनको ज़्यादा फीस मिलती है. So they stopped diploma and they started post graduation course. So today, if you ask for a diploma mechanical, see most of the diploma mechanical they get the admission into degree very easily. अगर उसके पास पैसा है तो उसको डिग्री में एडमिशन मिल जाता है, कोई भी डिप्लोमा. So today in the market, if any company make an advertisement that we require diploma mechanical or diploma civil, those engineers are not available in the market, and they are paid. In some of the companies are paying more than the degree people. So that is basically what is happening. So with this, we thanks all the expert speakers. Special thanks to Kev sir, Nachiket, who has dreamed this particular project. He has worked very hard to make this project a reality. He talked to all the experts and see that they basically here. So thank you Nachiket. And Sayyid sir, who has come all the way from Gandhinagar to talk on ACBC. And Hemar Patel sir, our guru, my guru. And he has helped number of people like me in his career. So he has received the message from us and he said that Deepak, I'll definitely come, and he has come. So thank you sir for being with us. We have Priyank Bhai, expert architect, very busy, and still he has come and he has delivered an excellent speech. That slides which he has shared, if he allows, I'll share that slides to you.
I was about to request the same. I was about to request the same. If you
So
can
we will share the same to you.
Yes.
Just leave your mail ID.
Sure. Will do.
Name and the mail ID you just leave at the counter at Institute of Engineers. we will definitely share, because that's a very beautifully, very nicely compiled. Very nicely compiled. And Chakraborty sir, very senior person, very busy. Sunday is the only day, and probably I don't know whether he gets so many calls even on Sunday. So out of his busy schedule, he has accepted our request on the very first call. So thank you very much, sir, for being with us and delivering an excellent talk. Vijay sir is our Sankat Samay ki Saakar. Whenever I don't get any faculty or anything, I just speak to him. And he is an excellent orator. He has got an in-depth knowledge and he prepares so hard. बच्चा बचपन से ही मेहनती है, like from the very, so I know a lot of his friends, so they used to say कि क्लास में सेकंड रैंक किसकी आएगी ना, वो हम लोग डिसाइड करते थे, फर्स्ट तो इसकी ही होती है. So he is basically like that. So very brilliant person and we enjoyed. और दोनों ब्रिलियंट को बाजू में रखा है. ये भी बाकी सब ब्रिलियंट ही है, बट एकेडमिकली मेरे को मालूम है. So Param is also from his childhood. He used to score very nice, and All India rank 31 in CA is not an easy thing. So he is also a very successful chartered accountant, and he is accepted. He is the president of Junior Chamber Alkapuri, and a very dynamic person. So thank you, Param, for being with us. And Shailesh Bhai, he is a interview panelist on GPSC board. So GPSC में जो लोग select होते हैं उनका जो interview होता है, so he is one of the members who takes the interview. So he is quite knowledgeable. Most of the questions were on ACPC, and the questions were very hard, like more number of questions. And we thought that अगर वो सब question मेरे को answer करूँ तो we will take another 1 hour, 8:30. So we need another session. So there we will cover ACPC, how exactly you apply, how you can select, what branch you should select, and what care you should take while selecting the branch. So he has promised that he will bring a few other experts from ACPC team who will give insight. And MR Patel sir to hey. So he will basically guide us and guide all the people that how you can select the various branch. So with this, we end this session. Thank you very much. You are a wonderful audience. You have been with us from 4:30 to 7:30 without getting disturbed, because some of the topics may be of your interest, some of the topics may not be of your interest, and however you have decided to be with us patiently, quietly, and listening to each of one of us. So thank you very much for being an excellent audience, and with this we end this program. Thank you. Yeah. One minute.
This program will be available on YouTube. You can share your mobile number or email ID, it will be sent to you.
So you leave your mobile number and the mail ID at the counter, and we'll see. Or 1 minute, very important. I'm really sorry. Oh, yeah. ये भी सॉफ्टवेयर का गुरु है. So I request Param for being with us. Chakraborty sir, you don't need, but certificate है. स्मार्ट सिटी के आदमी ने सुना नहीं था. ही इज द बेसिकली द वन हु हैज ब्रॉट दैट वर्ड. आज सब लोग बात करते हैं स्मार्ट सिटी की. उस जमाने में बात करते थे, कभी किसी ने सुना नहीं था कि स्मार्ट सिटी क्या होता है. सो ही इज बेसिकली द मैन बिहाइंड द स्मार्ट.
Only don't blame me for roads because that doesn't fall under smart city.
No, we don't blame you for anything. So, anything anybody would like to say about this program or anything? And otherwise, yes, sir. So, Karan is a wonderful job. He really worked hard. He designed the program. He selected the people, and he is basically the one who started Roshni Technology Foundation. And see, no two institute talk to each other. दोनों की बनती नहीं है, कंपटीशन होता है. तो कंप्यूटर सोसाइटी ऑफ इंडिया, इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंजीनियर्स, आर्किटेक्चर एसोसिएशन, इंडियन सोसाइटी फॉर ट्रेनिंग एंड डेवलपमेंट, आपका HR माइलस्टोन, बड़ौदा IT एसोसिएशन, देन आर्किटेक्चर एसोसिएशन, एंड two more organizations, Indian Society for Training and Development and Baroda Innovation Council and Baroda Productivity Council. All these organizations are pulled together by Nachiket. See, basically today, one organization is doing an event, they don't get enough participants. Today we have participants from architectural fraternity, we have from HR milestone, we have people from CSI. So we have people from different organizations. After the efforts of 8 organizations, we could collect 125 people here. It was really very difficult, and Baroda is facing this problem, each and every organization, to get the people. So Roshni Technology Foundation has become an instrumental, and many more organizations are trying to join with us, like Baroda Management Association and Indian Institute of Materials Management. They also would like to get associated with us so that the program becomes successful. I request each one of you to write your mail ID and the mobile number. We will send you one Zoom link and you register yourself with that. So you will get that invitation of all this good program automatically, and you take a decision whether you want to join online or whether you want to join offline, or whether you would like to see the recorded one. So with this, we end this program. Thank you very much. You would like to say anything, sir?
If you want.
Yeah, sure. Please.
How many students over here who are considering art, design or architecture as an option? Please visit office of Priyank Bhai. The ecosystem which he has built is amazing. जो ये करियर बनाओ है ना, तो एक बार खाली अपनी ऑफिस जो हूँ बेतन बार गयो इट इज अमेजिंग. Those who want to build career in engineering, as sir told, go and visit engineering colleges. But apart from that, if you get opportunity, visit the institution. चक्रवर्ती सर से परमिशन लेके या विजय भाई से परमिशन लेके या एडा में परमिशन लेके या कोई भी मैकेनिकल इलेक्ट्रिकल जो इंस्टीट्यूशंस है, go and visit and see their work. You get the real idea. I am a teacher. I tell this to my students who pass out 12th standard. Go and visit colleges. Go and visit industries. School of Planning and Architecture, Delhi. That is available through JEE. People in Gujarat are not aware of it. Our student has reached there. So industry na experts છે, architecture na experts છે, બે committee માંથી છે લોકો. તો વિજય ભાઈ is there are people, so you meet them personally after the session is over. That helps. હું એઝ અ સ્ટુડન્ટ આ કરતો હતો ને એટલે હું અહીંયા પહોંચી શક્યો છું. તો આ તમે કરજો. દીપકભાઈ અને નચિકેતે જે એફર્ટ મૂક્યા છે એ ખરેખર ફ્રૂટફુલ ક્યારે થશે? પછીનો નેક્સ્ટ સ્ટેપ આવશે. આ 3 કલાકમાં પૂરા થઈ ગયા. જર્ની પછી શરૂ થાય છે. એ પછી એમના ફોલોઅપમાં રહેશો, અમને મળશો, એમને મળશો. એમની ઓફિસ તમે જુઓ, આખી ઇકોસિસ્ટમ જે બિલ્ડઅપ થઈ છે ને પ્રિયંકભાઈ, NAU કરીને ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ છે, અમેઝિંગ છે. મેં જોયું છે, હું પહેલી વાર ગયો તો ખુશ થઈ ગયો હતો કે આવું પણ બરોડામાં છે સંસ્થા, આપણને ખબર જ ના. એટલે આનાથી એક સ્ટેપ આગળ પગલાં લઈ શકાય તો સારું, આ પ્રોગ્રામ વધારે મિનિંગફુલ થશે.
Thank you.
તમારામાંથી કોઈને એન્જિનિયરિંગ ડિઝાઇન સોફ્ટવેર ઉપર સિવિલ મિકેનિકલ ઇલેક્ટ્રિકલ આર્કિટેક્ચરલ સ્ટ્રક્ચરલ પાઇપિંગ પ્લાન્ટ ઇક્વિપમેન્ટ મોલ્ડ સો આના કોઈ પણ સોફ્ટવેર there are not many softwares who basically so we do training on that and I'll tell you during the lockdown 9th 10th 11th and 12th we were hooked into our building and Nachiket has picked up all the softwares though he was not an engineer એટલે તમે એન્જિનિયર થાઓ કે એવું થાઓ એની પહેલાં એન્જિનિયરિંગ ડિઝાઇનના સોફ્ટવેર તમે શીખો અને એઆઈને આજે એન્જિનિયરિંગ ડિઝાઇનના સોફ્ટવેર જે કામ કરે છે ને એટલે મારે કોઈ કેલ્ક્યુલેશન કરવાની જરૂર નથી મને ખબર હોવી જોઈએ કે મારે શું કરવું છે ઇફ આઈ નો દેટ આઈ ગીવ અ કમાન્ડ ટુ અ સોફ્ટવેર એન્ડ સોફ્ટવેર વિલ ગીવ ધ રિઝલ્ટ ટુ મી એટલે ઘણીવાર મેં એવા બી છોકરાઓ જોયા છે કે બિફોર દે ગેટ ઇન ટુ ધ એન્જિનિયરિંગ દે પિકડ અપ અને હું એ જ કહેવા માગતો હતો કે તમે ફોર્મલ એજ્યુકેશન તમારું ક્વોલિફિકેશન ના હોય બહુ બધી કંપનીઓ આજકાલ એવું કરે છે કે એમના એમ્પ્લોયના સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ છોકરાઓને કાં તો એમની આસપાસ રહેતા ગામડાના છોકરાઓને પકડી અને એ લોકોના ટ્રેડમાં ટ્રેન કરે છે એ છોકરાઓ લાઈફ ટાઈમ ત્યાં ટકીને કામ કરીને એન્જિનિયર કરતાં સારું કામ કરે છે પેલો દુનિયાભરના સોફ્ટવેર ભણ્યો છે બધા સોફ્ટવેર દુનિયાભરનો સબ્જેક્ટ ભણ્યો છે all these subjects are not relevant to me. I'll teach him only 2 subjects which is relevant to my job. પેલો દુનિયામાં બધા સોફ્ટવેર ભણીને એની બુદ્ધિ વાપર્યા કરતાં 2 સોફ્ટવેરમાં એ માસ્ટર થઈ જાય પેલા લોકો કરતાં વધારે સારું કામ કરે એટલે હવે ફોર્મલ એજ્યુકેશન કરતાં સ્લોલી હવે ડિગ્રી મળવી એટલી સહેલી થઈ ગઈ છે ઓનલાઈન બી ડિગ્રી મળવા માંડી તો મને એવું લાગે છે કે આવતા 5-7 વર્ષમાં people will look at the skill rather than looking at the qualification and I think with this we end this program. Thank you very much.
ઇસ્યુ ના થાય એટલા માટે ત્યાં એટલે અમે તમારે શું કામ એક એક્સ્ટ્રા નામ લખાઈને ડેટાબેઝ બહાર કરવા પણ ઇસ્યુ જે ના થાય એટલા માટે મેડિકલમાં છોકરાઓ છે ને પણ આધાર બેઝ એટેન્ડન્સ કરાવવું આધારમાં છોકરાઓ નામ
industrialists असताना हे तरी appreciate their efforts. बरोबर काम करायचे होतं. Sorry for the very good. So you have reached the number two. Sure. Also, welcome and couple students for the result. Anytime if you feel that you kind of feeling that you are sending it to us, most of it. प्रकाश केमिकल मध्ये आया अभी आपका फोन नंबर दीजिए ना प्रैक्टिकल फील्ड विजिट मेरा कुछ पता है यस बोलिए 9016 817 कमलेश जगह मेरे
border जे हायवे